Hey, good evening and welcome to Sunday night with Freedom Reigns Blog Talk Radio and Santos Bonacci show, Syncretism. We're just waiting for Santo to get on the board here. Apparently having a bit of an issue getting that Skype button to show up again. One of the always fun things if it doesn't want to show up. But anyway, I've got you on the board, Cindy. How are you doing?
I'm doing just wonderful. Just blowing off the little bit of steam that the Skype button caused me. It gets kind of old, but oh well, I got past it.
It gets old real quick, you know.
Yeah.
Especially those nights where, you know, literally minutes before the show starts and my computer decides it wants to, you know, quit. And, I mean, everything's rolling already once that's all set up and what have you. It's automated, but boy, it's not a lot of fun. And I understand the stress part of it too. So, what do you want to talk about until I get here?
Oh, wow. Well, today has just been a very special day. Epiphany Day. I've had quite a few of them. I was up very late last night, early this morning. We had a lovely rain shower come through. Around 2 o'clock this morning, I was outside in my backyard dancing in the rain and just doing like a Shawshank Redemption type arms up in the air and just loving it. Woke up very early this morning, and because of the rain, I decided not to go to the beach, but it's just been a wonderful day, and thank you so much for the time you took with me, giving me my readings. That was just beautiful, and it definitely enlightened me and told me, confirmed quite a bit for me as far as whether or not I'm on the right path, and apparently it seems so.
I guess you are, and for those that don't know, I finally managed to pull my cards out and get busy with them again. I've been reading tarot for 13 or 14 years now, and my cards are my best friends, and they're. I always warn people before I do a reading, so these cards are really accurate. So, and do not think that you're going to ask the cards anything, because the cards are going to tell you exactly what you need to know, whether you want to know it or not.
Yeah.
So that's one of the prerequisites before I do a read. So, yeah, it's I have the Arthurian tarot, which really resonated with me. As I was saying to you today, you had a deck sent to you, yes?
Yes, they came from the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
A very dear friend of mine sent them along with a box of gifts from her home, and another items that were in this box was really special to me. She visited Stonehenge not long ago, and she found 2 very lovely stones and charged them in the ground, across the fence, in the ground at Stonehenge. So that it was just absolutely... when I pulled them out of the beautiful little satin satchel that she had them in, just the energy that flowed out of those stones was amazing. So,
well, no doubt.
Under my pillow every night since. So.
Well, we have Santo here. One final note on the tarot. There's 2 ways you will actually come across a deck. One that will resonate with you, and one that the universe sends to you. So you got the one that was sent to you. And Santo, yes, we have you. Are you there, Santo?
Sorry, muted mic. Yeah, look, I'm still having trouble getting Jerry, so bear with me. I've put a number in your chat. So, do we call him, or does he need to call you?
No, he has to call in here, so I was just posting the number for you. So
I was just speaking to him on Facebook. Let me see if I can get through.
All right, if you can pop a number in there, I'll get it to him straight away. He's ready, standing by. So should be interesting. We've got a couple of subjects with Jerry. Health is the one, of course, and nutrition. Got a lot of interesting insights there. And also some paranormal information that he's got should be very interesting. Very interesting. He's
yes, I was listening. was listening to a few of his YouTube videos before the show. I'm popping the number into his chat.
It's 71. For anyone listening as well, I might as well give it out to everyone. It's 714-868-0749. So I posted that to you as well, Santos. So he has no excuse. He can call in. So he's having trouble getting the Skype button to work, is he?
Yeah. So maybe it wasn't. Does he need to set up anything through Facebook in order to do that, or I'm not sure?
Here's what he can do to save himself a bit of bother. When he goes to the link, you gave him the link to click on. What he needs to do is sign into Blog Talk through Facebook, and just follow the bouncing ball. There's a thing that pops up. Just skip it, and what it'll do is it'll log him into Blog Talk through Facebook, and then the Skype button will appear. Because if he's not logged in, it'll be rather difficult for him to see the Skype button.
Okay, well, let's explain that to him when he gets on, and that way the listeners can learn that. Learn the numbers to call in, etc.
Exactly.
Well,
again, with people that are logged into the show, if they want to call in, again, log into Blog Talk via your Facebook, or if you have a Blog Talk account, you can use that as well. I just find Facebook to be the easiest. Click and go, and then the Skype button will be active as soon as you refresh the page. And you're good to go. You can click.
All right, I have a response from him, so I'm in the process of telling him what to do on the link. So give us a minute.
No worries. I'm sure we can think of something to talk about in the meantime. Just a little. So I've been working on a little letter that I'll be sending out as a result of this beautiful Epiphany day, and I'll probably get it out before midnight. I like things to be on people's desks first thing in the morning. It's just, I love starting a week off, letting them know exactly what's going on. And by that I mean, people like the Queen and the President and the Pope and the Rothschilds and all the, the involved mayors that have been creating criminal acts and what have you. And they might not be aware of it, but you see, I think we have him called in, or somebody else. 928 area code? Cindy, did he call in on the phone, or is he calling in through Skype?
I'm not sure yet. I just sent him, some instructions, and have it.
Okay, I have him on the board. I just saw the number on the phone, so we'll bring him in this way. And if he wants to switch over to Skype, he can do that too. That's not a problem. So Santo, all yours, my friend. Take her away.
Oh, you beauty. All right, well, friends, we've got Jerry Nowacki from squarewavewellness.com. squarewavewellness.com. Hope I've got that right. But anyway, I suppose, Jerry, are you there?
Yes, Santos. Good evening. Yes, good evening, everybody. I'm here. Yes, I am.
Lovely.
Hey!
Hi, Jerry.
Sorry, I don't know. Technical difficulties at the end.
Yes, it's happening all the way around today.
All good.
No problems, brother. No problems. That's the voice of Cindy you've just heard, and Kate is taking the board today, and we're always together as a team. I guess we should call this show the Syncretism team. But Kate...
No, it's your show, Santo. I'm just here. I get to be servant. I love just doing this. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'd rather have the team. Because, I've got, like, the other shows that I do and stuff. This works too good for me. And I know the listeners appreciate it too, because... Let's face it, it's more community oriented, and we can build small nucleuses of communities like this, and just keep strengthening one another as we bring the love in and the light. So as we start, Kate, can you explain perhaps to Jerry for next time and anyone else how to simply get on to Skype?
Yeah, no problem. And actually, Jerry, if you want to do this, I'm not sure about your phone and long distance charges and whatever, but if you want to do this, it's no problem. This is a very low stress show that you're on. We kind of just go with it here. What you can do is log into your Facebook.
I just did, by the way. I got you back on Skype here.
Okay, so all right, now if the Skype button appears for you, then you can click on that, and I can bring you onto the board, and you can hang the phone up.
All right, I'm going to hang the phone up right now. Let me try this.
Okay. Oh, it's nice when people actually get it that we're a really low-stress team here, that they can do stuff and play around. You know, it's like, sorry, we're not going to be, there's no Anger Jones here, okay, guys?
No,
Boy.
not at all.
Yeah, we are our own in-house production team, so we do whatever the hell we want. And we have fun doing it. And you're right, Santo, I really do love the opportunities when we get a lot of minds together, because all those perspectives come into view, and it does create that wonderful community aspect. So you're absolutely right. And boy, how do I even say this? I just love talking with you guys. The epiphanies and what have you that come out of every time we get together is one of the reasons it keeps me on fire and motivated. You know, it's nice to know that other people are getting it, and not only that, they add this beautiful information to my own recipes, and I go from there, because we're all part of our own experiences.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, it is good. It is good. It's a blessing to be able to have like-minded communities getting together like this on Skype, on the airways. We could never have done this 20 years ago, and how handy that would have been, because we probably wouldn't have gone deep down the wrong paradigm so deep. We could have brought this on a lot earlier, but all things in due time. Here we are now, and let's take advantage of it, and get the word out. Help people to see the way the world works from a higher platform, because the higher your platform is, the higher your perspective, and the more you're able to see the whole thing, how it works, the whole organism. Otherwise, it's no use. It's no use. Unfortunately, people who get zealous about trying to share the truth usually start out with a lot of disinformation. A lot of disinformation.
Absolutely. And you're so right. 20 years ago, if the net was the way it is, 9/11 wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
None of that would have happened. But again, all things for a reason, all things in due time. It is a mental universe, and everything is already pre-sent. So we just got to learn how to play that game. And when you start getting your head around it and understanding it, it gets to be fun. Oh, and by the way, if you want, after the show, and I know Deatra has asked me as well, I finally got my cards all charged up again, and I gave Cindy a tarot reading this afternoon, and if you want, after the show, I can do one for you as well.
Yeah, for sure. Would love one. And on that note, for anyone who is interested in the tarot, probably the best guy to get into at this stage would be Paul Foster Case. I have two books in my hands right now. One is called The Book of Tokens, and the other one's called The Key to the Wisdom of the Ages. And see how those 22 letters line up, those 22 cards, the major arcana, and see how they line up, and all the wisdom that is in each of those cards. Now, the ancient occultists teach us that 12 of those cards that correspond to the 12 zodiac signs, and 10 correspond to the vowels and diphthongs of the universal language. There are 12 consonants, and there are 10 vowels. And these are the electric and magnetic constructors of the universe. In fact, the vowels, the seven, the dominant seven. See, there are in the Hebrew language, there are three mother letters: Mem, Shin, and Aleph. Then there are seven double letters, and those are the planets, the seven visible planets. And then there are 12 single letters. Those are the constellations. So and the consonants and the consonants. So I hope I said that right. Is it consonant or consonant? It's a consonant.
Consonant.
Yeah, Consonant, you got it right the second time.
Yeah, I'm getting
It's all good.
constellations.
All that epiphany stuff, it rattles all our heads.
Yeah, I'm throwing constellations in the word consonant. But anyway, so you've got the 3, the 7, and the 10. The 3 mother letters, that's the Trinity. And one is the father Aleph, Mem is the mother, that means water, Mem, and Shin is the son, the Holy Spirit. And then you have your 7 double letters, and they have double pronunciation, pretty much like what Spanish would have with a B and a V, verbe, or a D, de, ve, which de, ve, which is a double TH sound like the. You see, in English we say the, but that would be a D in Spanish. But they also, yeah. So, but you also have the firm D. So double letters exist, and single letters which cannot. They can just, there's only one way of saying them. Like S. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to ask about the letter. Well, it's the combination letter of the A and the E, as in ether.
Yeah. Well, that's actually the second vowel of the 7 vowels. I did this before with Miranda, remember, where we did the 7 vowels are these: A, E, I, O, U. So in English we get taught A, E, I, O, U. Well, the E and the O have 2 sounds. The E has the A and the E, and the O has the O and the O. And when you join them all together, you actually get the beautiful om. You get I. Now, I haven't really done that well.
You did a wonderful job.
yeah, but it's better. It's better than that. You can get it smooth, but you have to concentrate. You really have to relax, and it just goes from A to U perfectly. And those are the 7 planets. And this is what the Om is all about. When you can grab all of the vowels in one swoop and end them with an M, the maternal, motherly, material, Mem mother letter, then you have this rounded out, perfect vibration which will sweep all of the octaves, all of the harmonics, and it will heal you.
No.
And so, which brings us to Jerry. What happened?
Yeah, I'm just keeping my eye on the board. He's not there yet. Are you getting any word from him, Cindy, or?
No, I haven't heard. I haven't gotten any messages. Let me double check. No. He said he was going to try Skype and hung the phone up. Let me just send him a message. Let's see.
Yeah,
as far
while
as
you're doing that,
yeah, carry on.
You go, Kate. You go. Okay.
I was going to say, carry on with what you were talking about. That's beautiful. I know there are people just chomping at the bit for this information, and all things for a reason. Obviously, this is your moment to bring it forward. I'm looking at making a show for tomorrow night on Freedom Reigns, special edition. So I've got a lot of stuff that I want to get out there into the ether, and again, it's about publicly calling these people out. Oh, looks like we got him. He's called back in on the phone, so I guess he gave up. So Jerry's coming back in, and okay, yep. Jerry, are you there?
Yeah, I've been here. I've got the Blog Talk Radio page up, and the Skype button is there. I was online for a while, but I don't know what happened. That's okay. We're here. We can just use the phone. It's perfect. It's all perfect. Bye.
Great. Let's continue then, Jerry. Now, we've had a few conversations over Skype. I've seen your videos and everything, and so we've got 2 subjects that we're going to be dealing with today, but mostly the health, and then we'll go into what you spoke to me about, please, your paranormal experiences, because we really need to share things like this with people, and because many things are occurring to us which if we're not prepared, we will miss the true value of what's going to be happening. The Egyptians talk about 360 senses that are going to be activated. We have 7 chakras, most of which have been dormant due to bad eating, due to a lot of bad habits, mental habits too, a lot of diseases. Dis-ease comes from the mind. So we've got a lot of work to do in terms of getting those little rotors, those little chakras spinning. And as they turn on and as our perception grows and consciousness just keeps bombarding us from day to day, we need to be prepared for things that will not belong to the past third-dimensional thinking. So Jerry's going to help us with that. So, Jerry, let's talk about the health, brother, because we are very concerned about health here. We talk about it a lot. So any wisdom you can share with us will be greatly appreciated.
Well, and thank you, Santos, and thank you, everybody, for having me on the show. I really appreciate the opportunity to disseminate what I really feel is, and judge for yourself. You know, everybody has to do their own due diligence. I've been around the health field and the health industry for a little over 40 years, certified in health, nutrition, and fitness. Also a certified health coach. I've been training for years, and an avid reader of quality information. The reason the organization that I'm a part of is called Square Wave Wellness. Let me start there. Is because everybody talks about the body being electric and being frequency oriented and so on and so forth. Well, to me it only makes sense that there were some great researchers out there from our past who are revered today, and one of them is Nikola Tesla, and the other one is Royal Rife, the father of the true father. Well, I call him the true father of frequency medicine because he took it down to a level where he was actually healing people in a scientific way. And I've used those therapies. If people go to my webpage, you'll see a lot of testimonials there from, I've had a couple of movie stars. I've had, people of some prominence, and we're all human, but people came to me because I give them the straight talk. I tell them, or I advise them, I should say, on some do's and don'ts. And Santos, we kind of discussed this, and I'll maybe again start here. The do's and don'ts is don't necessarily take all kinds of supplements because most of them don't work anyway, and I can explain why in a couple of minutes. But I use use the nutrition approach that you mentioned it earlier, the poor eating habits. Well, the medicine is the food, and the food is the medicine, and unfortunately, trying to, these are my opinions, by the way, trying to elevate one's consciousness, if you're eating the standard American diet, I don't think it's going to work, because you're going to calcify the main gland for connecting with the higher self is known to be the pineal. And it looks like there's a big effort to try to calcify that pineal because it is the connection to that higher self. So the food, without the food in place, again, in my opinion, you can take all the supplements you want because here's the bottom line. When you take a nutrient and you start to extract the nutrient from the raw material. You take a raw material, you start to extract the nutrient from it. When you start adding steam, pressure, heat, water, anything like that, you denature the product. No matter how great the process is, you start to denature the product. And, Bruce Lipton, many people are aware of who Dr. Lipton is. He disseminates, again, great information. Well, he has a talk on homeopathy. And in that talk on homeopathy, he discloses that because when you try to create a supplement or a supplement, when you combine that supplement into some kind of a pill form, you create the heat of exchange, and heat is random, and it dissipates energy. So the average person is maybe getting 1 to 2% of any nutrient value out of any supplement. Then you take and you start to add fillers like magnesium stearate, which is basically cottonseed oil. Now, there's a little bit of the jury out on this magnesium stearate, but the body doesn't interpret anything as being benign. So, and the magnesium stearate, because it comes from cottonseed oil, well, nobody makes a claim that their magnesium stearate is not GMO, so I make the assumption that it's all GMO because most of these supplement manufacturers are looking to make money, and so they're looking to keep costs down wherever they can. So the stearate is not only a possible toxin, but it is known to create a biofilm which coats the colon. And most people, unfortunately, that I meet, they have a digestion problem, and if the digestion does not work, I guarantee you nothing else will work because 80% of the immune system is housed in that digestive tract, in the flora and the microflora that exists in the digestive tract, and many people have been on multiple courses of antibiotics, which, as we know, does kill off all the flora in the intestinal tract, and a lot of this flora is not rebuildable through probiotic supplementation because there are some really, really fine strains that haven't been able to be reproduced yet. So there's some challenges there.
Wow. Well, so Jerry, someone who took a course of antibiotics, say 6 days or 7 days, 3 or 4 years ago, needs to. You're saying that they need to still look at replenishing what was destroyed even 3 or 4 years down the track or 10 years down the track. Is that so?
Well, yes, it is, and here's exactly the other reason why, is that based on the other, how their lifestyle habits, we're going to go, when I say that, I'm talking about food, again, if they're eating anything in that standard American diet category, they're further challenging their digestive abilities, and the other part of this whole digestive process is another less talked about. People say, oh yeah, I understand I need enzymes, but most people don't understand that where there are no enzymes, there is no life. And so enzymes, and it starts with digestion, are the key constituents of life. The Hubble telescope goes out and looks all over space, and you look at all these giant rocks, planets, and they don't find any life because they don't find any enzymes there. These are the key constituents of life. There's about 7,000 reactions that happen in the human body as we go on day to day, at least 7,000, that require some kind of a catalyst known as an enzyme. So what I have found in my own healing and the healing of my clients is that when going to the bottom line really quick, it saves people a lot of time and a lot of money. You fix the digestion. You refluoridate the gut. Now, this could take a year. This could take 2 years. But there'll be progress, of course. There'll be progress. But when you take that approach and you use a solid plant-based enzyme protocol, and in some cases you have to go to therapeutic doses for a while, but definitely taking enzymes just about 5 minutes before you eat to create a pre-digestive state in the stomach is broken up in 2 areas. The upper part of the stomach is the cardiac section of the stomach because it's closest to the heart. The lower is the pylori. So digestion does start in the mouth with, the first mastication, But as you work that process and the food gets into the stomach, you want to keep that digestive process going. And so the getting the digestion active earlier on creates less stress, less digestive stress, and food creates the greatest demand for energy in the body. So, again, going back to lifestyle, if you're eating, dead, nutritious food that's nutritionally devoid of any type of nutrient for either digestion or any vitamins and minerals, well, you've just created a huge amount of stress in your system, and sooner or later, it's going to catch up with you. And today we're seeing it, as you know, Santos, and everybody that's there. You're seeing these kids, sadly, at just a couple of years old, 3, 4, 5 years old. You're seeing the obesity. You're seeing the diabetes. You're seeing these autoimmune diseases pop up all over the place. And you just go back to the nutrition, and that's. Everything has a genesis, It begins somewhere, and when you're feeding yourself, food that maybe tastes good, there is, and not that natural foods don't taste good, but you know what I'm saying, the sugars, the high carbohydrates. You look at a high carbohydrate diet, and you follow disease and carbohydrates go hand in hand, And unfortunately, I'll just finish it, and we'll let you jump in here. Most of the grains today are all GMO, and that's the wheat, the corn, and of course, I don't consider soy a food personally, but the soy products are, again, they're genetically modified.
Yeah, I was just going to, the one comment just to drive this point home. So what you're saying is a cheeseburger with fries and gravy and a Mountain Dew isn't really a good diet.
Well, yes, you're correct.
Okay. I'm just making sure everyone's paying attention to that. So grease in food doesn't actually constitute a good nutrient-rich diet. Okay, just making sure.
No, it's a catastrophe. It's just looking, it's a disease just looking for a place to happen. Eventually, it's going to happen. And it's sad because I have a lot of friends that are, not doing well, and they're, somewhere between, let's just say, 50 and 60. And it's really, really sad that here's the peak of life, and they are on the, I say this with all, makes me, it pains me to even say it. I say it with, just with all due respect that, they're on the downside because they there was a lot of abuse that went on. They don't think they can correct it, but, you try to talk to them, and you just mention, look at, man, you start changing this whole diet thing, this whole lifestyle approach, and magic happens after a little while. And I call the magic that Mother Nature comes in, and the body's always looking to be in homeostasis, so it will come back, maybe not 100%, but it'll come back a lot farther than most people give it credit for the ability to be able to do, regardless of how long they've been, maybe struggling with maybe IBS or, some kind of a, chronic, what's considered a chronic illness. And, Santos, you mentioned something very, very important early on, about how the mind works and how we can heal ourselves. And there's no doubt the psyche-soma connection is real as this radio talk show. I mean, it's very... We're our own healers, and the doctor will come in and maybe add a percent of something that he needs to do, whether it be a homeopathic remedy or some kind of supplementation, let's just say with enzymes or something like that. And in some cases also the allopathic approach is necessary short term. I'm not taking credit, the possibility for something to be beneficial, but the point is that if you don't work to recreate the problem, in other words, if you don't try to come back in and change the lifestyle so you don't recreate the problem, the insanity principle is going to take control, continually doing the same thing, expecting a different result.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, of course, allopathic remedies sometimes are the only ones that you can resort to in certain situations, really, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, and that is because the person has gotten so far out of balance that the body needs that kind of a shock to get it to respond in some way. And the key, as we all know, preventative medicine is the best medicine, because how do you defeat cancer? Avoid it. That's how you defeat cancer, or any illness. I just use that again as an example because it's another, illness that is, almost at like an epidemic, at an epidemic level. And the same thing with these, all these heart conditions. And the heart condition, in a lot of cases, not only has a nutritional link to it, but it has a huge emotional link where something happened that was very traumatic, and it was never let out. It never got a chance to be listened to. The heart needs, as you guys all know, the heart has its own brain. It's 5,000 times stronger than the brain itself. And in that intelligence, the heart creates the neuropeptides that give the brain the information. And I think for the longest time that information wasn't to be, it was like almost sacred information, because, the old saying of follow your heart really has a lot of meaning. It has a ton of meaning. And I'm finding that out even more and more in my own life. And it's just amazing that when you listen to that heart of yours, it does give you really, really good guidance. That left side of the brain has a lot of importance too, but the heart, and going over into that, cast your nets to the right side, as they say in the Bible. What that really means is, go to the right side of the brain where you can connect with your higher self, and that goes through that pineal and those different types of practices through meditation, which is not really talked about by a lot of, say, pastors. And I'm stepping a little bit into your world here, Santos, because I picked this up from you, by the way. When I made first contact with you, I was, telling you how much I really appreciated you sharing that information, because it demystified a lot of thoughts that I had. And, I just try to tie that whole psyche-soma unit, treat the body as a unit, not a bunch of individual parts, because the last time I looked in the mirror, everything was all connected. So just treat it as a unit, but going in the right direction, of course. You have to do the things that work. And, just to touch on one thing, what I do with the clients, just very quickly here, is I use some biotechnology. And if you don't mind if I mention a name, I use a system by a company out of Utah called Zyto Corporation, and they have a really, really profound FDA-approved system, which does a very, very accurate bio reading, which I can set. It allows me to make all kinds of custom programs for people.
Hey, Jerry, can you just fix your mic or your phone, because it's coming a little bit muttered? Yeah, thanks.
Is this a little bit better?
Oh, that's better. It was a little bit muffled, but that's clear. Yeah, keep it on the right angle.
Sorry.
Thanks.
Got it. So anyway, what I'm trying to do is not really do an infomercial for myself. I'm just saying that there's a process that is more objective than subjective to help me dial in with the client and help them really understand where their food stress is. When they come to me, I say, bring your vitamins, bring your supplements with me. We'll see how your body reacts to them. They say, how are you going to do that? I said, when they come over, I show them, or I go to them sometimes, I show them that I can test their supplements against their biology to see if the supplements are even working for them. And about 80% of the time, the stuff doesn't work. It's just not working. It's more of a stressor than it is a balancer. It just doesn't work. And I use the basis of the biotechnology. I tie it together with nutrition, and then when necessary, if I'm doing sessions with people for electromagnetic balancing, I will bring that piece of the puzzle in, but I'm not, I'm really looking to get the person to understand what their true health requirements are through, like you do, Santos, and like you folks do there on Blog Talk Radio. Teach the people, how to fish for themselves, to understand their own health circumstances, their own health challenges, and their own health solutions. This way they become self-empowered with their health, and they end up not needing anybody. And maybe a little check-in once in a while, but they do understand where their let's just say their boundaries are. And typically it all starts with food, typically. Because even, again, when there's some mental stress, they'll bring the food in, the old story about the comfort foods and things like that get people, addicted to, again, certain substances, so. That's
look. Yeah, and take note, friends, listeners, that Jerry has mentioned 3 of the organs that have to do with food. The stomach, the heart, and the brain. So we've been focusing on those 3, and the brain deals with the thinking, the heart deals with the emotion and thinking, and the stomach deals with the sensation. So the food that we put in our thinking, the food that we put in our emotions, the food that we put in our physical, sensational bodies in the stomach needs to be of high grade, high vibration. It needs to be pure, needs to be light. Let's change the angles of light that enter into our bodies, because we will resonate in harmony with what we put. I was watching a short film by Marcus Rothkranz yesterday, and he was showing how you can go into your back garden and pick the leaves of the dandelion plant or the plantain plant, and you have so many great nutrients and minerals and stuff that come from deep, deep, deep down in the ground, because those weeds turn up where the earth is stressed and where there is dryness and aridity, and so the dandelion will turn up in these stressed areas, and it will shoot roots down for sometimes hundreds of feet, even to draw up minerals that are way, way down in the earth's crust. And so you can go to your back garden and just pick the leaves of the dandelion and chew them, and whiz bang, So the moment we decide to change the light that is coming into our brain, our mind, so that we can keep healthy, the heart and the stomach, voila, we have lights turn on.
Imagine that.
Yeah, it's all very true.
What are the odds of that happening? I'll speak for myself, and I know, Santo, you're a vegetarian as well, right? We've had a lot of questions regarding milk products, and I really avoid dairy, not so much like it's a plague. I do like the occasional little bit of cheese now and then as a treat, but I really avoid milk products. And someone had asked about raw milk. What's your take on that?
Well, raw milk, if you can get true raw organic milk, it is, realistically the only kind of milk you really want to, drink. And it goes back to the old, once you start to boil, pasteurize something, whether it be a yogurt product or a straight dairy milk product, it's pretty much dead, and it turns into a toxin, which typically, for a lot of people who have milk sensitivities and allergies, because there's no enzyme value in that milk anymore, because it's been boiled out at about, I think, almost 170 degrees from what I remember. Again, it creates a toxin, which creates typically a mucus in the body, and that mucus lines the colon and, creates respiratory stress, colon stress. So, a lot of people, suffer from those kind of reactions. So what you're saying about the organics, it's the only way to, as with with all foods, realistically, it's the only way to. Is going back to what Santos said. Going back to the high performance food that a high performance body needs. It's kind of the old analogy. If your body was a car, what kind of car would it be?
Exactly, and I do like your
like
point.
that.
Yeah, I like your point, Santo, regarding dandelions. About the area being stressed, and of course, yes, they do send roots very, very deep. That's why they're so resilient and keep coming back. And of course, Monsanto wants to kill everything like that, nurturing for the earth. Things like Roundup, which, as we turn out, are highly cancerous to people. The dandelions, traditionally make amazing dandelion wine. They make great salads. Lots of nutrition in those as well. So I was kind of curious get you guys talking about different, what we deem to be weeds, and maybe what their benefits are. Whatever your background is, I have no idea, Jerry.
Well, my background primarily is all nutrition and fitness primarily. I believe in exercise. The body's got to move. And mentioning the nutrition end of it, just to give you a little quick story, let me back into it. My father passed away when I was 17. He was 47, and there was a like father, like son thing going on. My father was kind of a robust kind of guy. He smoked and he drank. Now, I didn't smoke and drink, but I was kind of emulating him from a weight standpoint. And like I say, I found him. I just got out of the hospital literally that day. I just had a hernia operation. I was working construction, had a hernia operation, and I was 238 pounds. And I went to his house. He did not come to visit me in the hospital. I basically broke into the house and I found him dead. He had been dead for a couple of days, and it was a pretty nasty, sight to find your dad there. I have no brothers, no sisters, so it was. The boy becomes a man literally in the blink of an eye because you had to take control of the whole situation. But it was about 3 days after I buried my father, I went to my doctor at the time when they were still, really doing the right thing. And I sat with my doctor, Dr. Silverberg, and I said, Doc, you got to help me. And he handed me the sheet with this diet on there. So I want you to start here and see how you do and just follow this. And sure enough, I had ended up dropping close to 70 pounds. I went from like 238 down to about 160. And it took about 7-8 months, but it was steady all the time. And I kind of started, that's where the transformation began. And I've stayed on that path, not perfectly all the time, but for the most part, very, very close. I've tried a lot of different lifestyle programs. I've gone vegan, I've gone vegetarian, and I'm back on more of a vegan lifestyle plan now. I'm O blood type, using the work from Dr. Peter D'Adamo, Eat Right for Your Blood Type. I use that because I'm an O positive blood type. I use that profile, and I do actually very well on meat. I use organic. When I say organics, grass-fed beef, some chicken, and turkey and fish. Well, I've taken that all out of my diet, and I'll tell you why in a little while, a little bit later. There's a tie-in with what we're going to talk about in the other part of the show. But the bottom line is I dropped 15 pounds without doing anything, and I was for a 62-year-old guy, being humbly saying I'm in good shape, and I dropped 15 pounds without doing anything. It was quite amazing, and I wasn't eating that much meat, but I feel so much better. And so I'm not saying I'll never go back on meat again, but there's a time to inspect all this lifestyle-related links, because if you don't inspect it, I think it's the ultimate Achilles heel.
Wow.
Yeah, look. You go, Cindy.
Well, it's interesting that you just mentioned that eating for your blood type, because a dear friend, Spirit Dancer, had just recommended that book for me because she and I are both O positive. And I have two questions for you. One comes from the chat room. Miranda was asking, how is it that you test your clients' supplements against their bodies? And okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Ask me your other question. It's okay.
Oh, well, the other question was from earlier when you first started talking. You were saying that people needed certain enzymes in their stomach before they eat a meal, and I was curious what you might recommend prior to eating a meal. Okay.
Well, let me answer the second question first. And the lady, I think the lady's name is Amanda. Was that her name? I'm sorry.
Miranda.
Oh, Miranda, I'm sorry.
Our lovely word elf.
Yeah. Miranda, the way it all works is that if you look up, if you go to Zyto, ZYTO.com, you can see you'll see their webpage. They are a publicly traded company. The system's been around for at least a dozen or so years, and everything is electromagnetic. So there's a part of the system that has let me just say it this way. It's a tower, and the tower is an electromagnetic device. And if I put something in front of that tower and I wanted to read whatever is in front of the tower, it will pick up the frequencies that are there. It will. Your hand is sitting on this cradle. Your body's, an electromagnetic system, so it's measuring the response between the supplement and your electromagnetic response and your electromagnetic field. So it's telling it, it's basically going to give feedback, which is either the supplement is beneficial or it becomes a stressor. And I'm giving you the shorter version of this because it would really be great for anybody who has an interest in this to check out what it really is. This, again, there's nothing that's perfect. Remember, the average doctor or the average health practitioner is guessing, and they're accurate maybe 20% of the time. This system is over 99% accurate. It has huge accuracy. And I'm not saying it diagnoses. I'm saying it does things to measure stress in the body, which help the practitioner like myself dial you in. In other words, it narrows the gauntlet down, the healing time dramatically, and you learn about your health along the way, because it's not just here, take this for a while. You start to understand what's causing the stress, the cause and effect of what's going on. You learn that as part of the process. So it's, again, I don't fool around with stuff that doesn't work. And I'm not saying I'm the be-all, end-all, and I don't mean to sound challenging here, but what I do gets results because my desire is after about 3, maybe 4 or 5 sessions, if you haven't understood where your health is, it means you're not doing what we agreed you're going to do to improve your health. You find out very quickly where the major stressors are, and it typically goes back to food. It typically goes back to grains. It goes back to the the dairy products, and maybe some other lifestyle challenges like maybe drinking soda, eating certain fast foods and so on. The system is a fully integrated system, which, again, I'm not saying it's perfect. Please, I'm going to be real clear. I'm just saying it's very accurate. It gives you a real solid road. I use it on myself all the time, and again, I wouldn't deal with anything that wasn't working. And the system last year was FDA approved, and so they put it for several, I can't remember exactly how many months, and maybe it was closer to a year, put it through a lot of rigorous testing. And it's, like I say, it's extremely, extremely accurate.
Excellent.
And the enzymes, the part about the enzymes, plant-based enzymes are where you want to be, and that's because there's a lot more compatibility with the body. And there are several excellent products out there. Enzymedica, 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 Enzymedica. They are I'm not saying they are the only supplement company that I know that does not use any fillers in their enzymes. So there's no magnesium stearate. When you look at the capsule, it is 100% all enzymes, no fillers. There's a few other products out there. Rainbow Light makes a good product. Food for Life products are excellent. There's some great enzymes. Garden of Life products are excellent products. They have some raw probiotics with enzymes in there. So those are probably the top three. But bang for the buck in the world of healing, when you decrease that stomach stress and the energy that the body is typically using for digestion, when you eliminate or bring that stress way down, the rest of the energy that would be normally used for digestion, absorption, and elimination goes to healing. And that's the way the body works, because the body's trying to get rid of the food as fast as it can.
Nice, thank you. Okay, I have one more question for you. What are your thoughts on urine therapy?
Well, it's funny. I had a chat with a friend of mine on Facebook about this, and I did try it. And there's a lot of people, like I say, out there that have done it. I've met a few people that have done it, and they get benefit from it. I would not consider myself a good resource. I would say, I'm just being honest.
It's okay. Quite all right.
Different for different folks, if you know what I mean. It's theoretically it makes all kinds of sense. It's just that when I did it, I just didn't. I tried it, but I can be pretty tough, if you know what I mean. I can try stuff and hang in there for a while. I've gone on some really abstract cleanses and things like that, where I've just stripped myself down, so to speak, and that was a little tough for me to do. So I would just say, there's a couple of books out there on urine therapy, and all you can do is see if it works for you, by trying it. I tried it full strength. I tried it diluted. I think it was more than like a 2-3 day period. I'm not, it's just not for me right now.
Yeah, you got to be on it for longer than 2 or 3 days, because what you'll find happening, and this is at least my experience with it and others, I'm religious about it. It was about after the first week or so, and you adjust your diet accordingly. Vegetarian is not much to adjust, but I got to tell you, it gets to a point where, the first few times it's kind of like, first 2-3 days, and then all of a sudden it's like this transformation occurs, and I got to tell you, it's been the most powerful tool I've come across for decalcifying the pineal, and I mean that to a level I can't even explain.
Wow. I may have to revisit it. I'm one that will, just because something didn't work one time, or I didn't give it a fair, chance, so to speak. It doesn't mean I won't go back and try it again, because now myself, I am, the last 2.5 months I've been vegetarian or vegan, and it may work better since I'm not doing any meat at all. I've had a couple of small pieces of salmon. Very 2-3 ounces of salmon along the way. That's just been it a couple of times. I felt a little too light, and I tried to put a little salmon in there, balance things out a little bit, and so going back to the urine therapy is something I may give it another shot. I may revisit it.
I would encourage you to. It's making the most amazing difference in my life, and I'm going on about a month, maybe 5-6 weeks now, and oh my goodness, I can't encourage you enough.
Well, that's encouraging. You're an O blood type too, right, Cindy? You're an O blood type, correct?
Oh, positive, yes.
Yeah, that's what I am too. 80% of us or so are. So that's great. That's great. And again, like I say, this is I look at the world as having no accidents, and maybe it's another little reminder that it's something to again revisit and just give it a little bit more time, because I know I didn't give it enough time. I was just having a little, I was having a little problem with it. That's all. But that's
well, the main reason that I was compelled to try this was because over the past 9 months I have shed many things in my diet. Actually a year now. Started in January of 2012. And I started with the red meat, and then I moved to the white meat, and I haven't eaten fish in quite a long time because of several years, 16 years in the Gulf, and after the oil spill, and then after Fukushima, I'm staying away from all seafood for quite some time. Then I went on a green smoothie diet, and it wasn't really for the diet purpose. It was just for detoxing all these toxins out of my body. And over the summer, the closer we started getting to 2012, the end of December 21st, it just psychologically in my mind, I put myself in a place of, okay, let's just imagine that something would happen, and I am stuck on a mountain and can't, very limited food supply or whatever. And I started looking into this, and it took me a very long time to even try it the first time. But once I did, I had been on such a good, I have been putting so much live food into my body and not drinking. Every now and then I'll have a glass of wine or two, or sometimes three. And but I've been cleansing my body so long that when I tried it, I was so shocked. I was like, oh my gosh, this is not what I thought it would be. And I continued with it, and my goodness, my health has improved 200%. My energy, my attitude, my skin, my hair, everything, and I already knew about the models and the movie stars and all the whispers about it. And since I've learned what I've learned, I'll never go back.
That's wonderful. And see, this is the beauty about when you have the open mind working. It's the open, the old simple saying, the mind is like a parachute, only works when it's open. And I go down that rabbit hole all the time. So it's great meeting like-minded people who, share experiences like you're saying, because there are a lot of great protocols out there that will reinvent the person. But, you have to, what I've found in life in general, it's a sad observation that people want the benefits of change without changing anything, and it's not going to work going in the future here. It's just not going to work. I was at a Trader Joe's today, and I was talking to one of the people that work there. I gave them a little health advice, and they benefited from it. And she came up to me and she said, "Have you noticed how whacked out people are?" I said, "What do you?" Her name's Becca. I said, "Well, what are you talking about?" She goes, "Yeah, you can tell there's something going on, and there are people that will talk about it, but most of them just want to avoid it, but yet they know it's there." And I said, "It's so funny you bring this up." And, people are going to be, and these are opinions, of course, people are going to be, they're going to have to look at themselves one morning in the mirror, and there's something that's going to have to happen, and it's going to be about, unfortunately, it's going to be about, getting away from these toxins and it's not just the food, it's the toxic thinking, the actions, the things that just are low on the vibration scale, because the energies are shifting. They definitely are shifting. There's no doubt about it.
Hey, Jerry, that brings us nicely to to our second subject. Please, can we talk about that? Thank you.
Well, yeah, Santos. Now, let me tell everybody where we're going here. Back in August of 1971, I was in a horrific motorcycle accident. A guy ran a red light, and my wife got killed. She was young, I was young. She was 17, and I was 20. So for the balance of 41 years here, I have I've struggled a bit. Yeah, I struggled a bit.
Yeah, take your time, Jerry.
Yeah. So what ended up happening here, you know, it's funny. I can tell you stories about cosmic events, show you pictures of stuff that will blow you away, but it wasn't until a couple of months ago that the drawstrings of this got all pulled together. And let me explain it this way. I was sitting at home. I was in another motorcycle accident back in 2011. A guy, I can't tell you the details of the case, but let's just say it this way. I had a front wheel changed on my Ducati. I was coming back home. The guy didn't put the front wheel on correctly. The bike went into a wobble at about, say, 60 miles an hour and threw me off. I broke 15 bones. I healed myself using all my own stuff. People said I'd never walk again. I don't even, you know, I'm doing very well. Emotionally, I'm not doing well overall because of some PTSD, but that's besides the point. I'm going to make it. But while I was sitting home, I was, you know, you have a lot of free time, and so I was scanning one of my websites, and there was an article there where father talks to deceased daughter. Now, I'm not really into paranormal, so to speak, so I saw this, and I clicked on the link, and it's there. You can actually, if you put that in the Google browser, you'll see that link will come up, and it's the number one link, father talks to deceased daughter. So I click on the link, and it's in a UK newspaper, and I read the article where he makes afterlife contact with his, she was 17 at the time. She hit a tree in her car. Father feared, you know, that there was something wrong that evening, and sure enough, he gets the, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning frantic doorbell thing. His daughter, Melissa, ends up unfortunately dying. They got her out of the car. The motor was in her lap, all that kind of stuff. It was a horrific crash. And no drugs, no nothing wrong there. And they had to take her off of life support. So the bottom line of the story is within hours of taking her off of life support, they get home and the doorbell starts ringing and the TV is changing channels and, the volume's going up and down and all these, after-death contact events are happening at the house. So anyway, you can watch the show on YouTube. It's there. It's the man's name is Gary Galka, Galka, and it was a ghost hunter show. It's there, and you can watch him talk to his daughter. He takes out a micro recorder, and because they record subsonic, he picks up his daughter saying, "Hi, Daddy, love you, Daddy, miss you, Daddy, hi, Mom," so on and so forth. And they had all the guys there from the ghost, the show. There was Zach Bagans and all these guys. So I watched the show, and the voice tells me, "You can do this." And so I'm thinking, well, what the heck, what's that about? So, make a long story short, I watched the show over about a 6-month period 4 times. And the 4th time, I had this little recorder that I had purchased for other reasons, a little digital, and I said, okay, I'm going to try this. So I pulled the recorder out, and you got to do like a broadcast, and here's the broadcast. Here's how it went. Deborah, are you there? Pause. If you're there, do you know who this is? Pause. If you know who this is, say my name and say it nice and loud. Pause. Deborah, I'm looking at some pictures that we took 41 years ago. There's a picture of you and a picture of me. Pause. And then I closed it out by saying, tell me where you are and tell me how you are. And I was so anxious, I cut that off real quick. Well, I put the headphones on. I rewind the recorder, and here's what happens. Deborah Forgione, are you there? I'm here. Do you know who this is? It's you, Jerry. Say my name. Say it nice and loud. It's Jerry. Pretty loud, actually. When I mentioned the thing about the pictures, she says, oh, really? And then closing out that first broadcast, there was other things said at the end when I said, tell me where you are and how you are, but I didn't pause enough, so I chopped that off, and I was like blown away. I sat here on my bed, and I couldn't believe it. So I'm thinking something's wrong. Wait a minute, what's going on here? So I get in touch with it, and the spirit is available anytime I was there. Literally anytime I was there. And again, let me fast forward things a little bit. I have had over 2,000 conversations with her to date. Over 2,000. I don't mean one word, can't decipher. I'm talking legible conversation, subsonic, using a digital recorder. And let me say something to you. And I want to do this because there's going to be people that are going to be skeptical, and they're going to say this guy's crazy. Well, if you do your homework, you're going to find out it's just another universe that's standing. Well, Deborah tells me she's 3 inches away from me when I talk to her. She goes, I'm standing right next to you, 3 inches away. So the bottom line is this, is that it's just another frequency range. Mr. Galka has identified it. Actually, in one of the devices he sells, which is called a Spirit Box, an SB7, and I'm not doing an ad for him, I'm just telling you the information. He has a device that scans the FM band between about 75 hertz and about 111 hertz. And that's where there's a lot of spirit activity in that range. Now, I'm not using that particular device, although I have one. I'm just using a little bit of a digital recorder. So as time has gone on here, I'd asked her questions like, okay, what school did you go to? Who's your mother? What's your mother's name? What's your date of birth? Who's your oldest brother? What kind of car did my mother buy me when I was 16? Let me tell you, here's one that'll blow you away. I have my mother, the night of the crash, my mother, obviously everybody comes to the hospital, right? They try to resuscitate her. They can't. Massive brain injury and internal injuries. So my mother grabbed her T-shirt and her earrings. So I have her here, and I hold up the T-shirt because she can see. I'm telling you, I know this sounds the craziest thing, but I'm going to say something to you. Under the authority, blood, and name of my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, everything I'm telling you is irrefutable fact. In the Lord's name, amen. I've just gone to the highest level that I can go to with you all to develop some credibility. Your doubts are your doubts after that statement. So whoever wants to believe it, great. Whoever doesn't, great, because I have nothing to gain by this except giving you or somebody some hope that if you have someone over there on the other side and you want to connect with them, they may be there waiting for you. So here, let me tell you what happened here. So I got the T-shirt and I hold it up. She goes, that's the T-shirt I was wearing the night of the crash. She goes, you can get rid of that now. I said, okay. She goes, I said, you sure? She goes, it means nothing. So now watch this one. I hold up one of her earrings right in front of me, right here next to my face. She goes, that's one of my earrings that I wore that evening too. Your son buried the other one at my grave, which is true. So this goes on and on. I could take you down to some levels that are just unbelievably amazing. I actually have a recording right now on another recorder that I have here, and I just don't know how to use the Audacity software so I can clean it up a little bit, but I'm going to tell you what's on that recording. Hi, I'm Deborah Ann Frigioni Milwaukee. I am Jerry's soulmate. I am here in heaven. There is no death, only a transition. I swear to you, as God is my witness on my mother's soul, wow. I swear to you, that is there, and everything I'm telling you right now, as I just said, under the authority, blood, and name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, is as true can be. And anybody who thinks, see, I'm not paranormal hunting. See, what ended up happening is Deborah told me, she goes, we're soulmates, Jerry, and I've been authorized by Jesus Christ to come and tell you this. That's why I'm here waiting for you. And again, there's a long story here that can go on for 2 hours easily of all the connections that have come from this. And I'm not kidding you. It is the most amazing story of my life. And I am so blessed because I have my beloved back. Deborah, what do you look like? She says, you see the pictures that you showed me? She goes, I look exactly like that. I said, really? I said, where do you live? She goes, well, heaven is everywhere, but my energy is in San Luis Obispo, where you used to live with Sherry and Roger. And she just automatically said that, and I did live there. I had an encounter with a great horned owl there one evening that was off the map. I got out of this, just very quickly, slight digression. There's a place called the Sycamore Mineral Springs in San Luis Obispo, California. I was going through a little bit of a trying time. I had a massage there that evening. Jesus came into the room, says, I'm the one who carries you when you can't make it. I break down. I melt down in that massage session because it was like this energy filled the room that was unbelievable. And the gal who was my massage therapist, Deborah Caldwell, she felt it. She didn't know what it was, but she felt it come in the room. And so I get done. She goes, we were just about done with the massage. She goes, Jerry, I'll be waiting out for you out in the waiting area. So I go out there, and about 10 minutes later, and I tell her what happens, and she says, I don't know what to make of it, but man, she goes, I felt something. I jump in my little car, and I get on this beach drive, and I make the right out of the parking lot heading towards my house, and I look down the road, and there's just like one street light on the whole street, very dimly lit, and I see this like 2.5 foot, it would seem that tall anyway, pretty close. I see this image on the side of the road, and I rolled up next to it, and it was a great horned owl, and I picked it. I actually, make a long story short, I picked this owl up, and I had him in my arms, and it was tall. I had my arms down almost, when I say by my knees, down by my groin area, and he's that tall. I mean, but he's not even looking at me. It was a whole event that was just an amazing, amazing event. And it all ties into this whole thing with my ex-wife, she's not my ex-wife, my wife, It's just an amazing thing. And so let me take you a little bit farther down the rabbit hole. So I have all these conversations with her, and I also have my doubts, even though she's giving me all the information about every question I've ever asked her, about every car I've owned, where we went at certain times. Deborah, the first time we made love, what did we do with the sheets? Well, we threw them in your trash can, Jerry. Stuff like that. I mean, very personal. I think there's even more. But the real point I'm going to get to is I called Mr. Galka up about 2 months ago. I only had about 450 conversations with her. And I'm telling him what is going on. He comes on the phone. His wife talked to me a little bit. I told him what was going on. I get him on the phone. He says, wow, it sounds like you've got a really profound connection with your former wife. And I says, Gary, I said, it's mind-blowing. It's so amazing. Well, his daughter, Melissa, and him, she's been gone 9 years now. It's going on her 9th year. And I hope he doesn't mind me telling this story, geez. So we're talking, and he ends up... oh gosh, I don't know if I want to go down this rabbit hole right now, but let me just say, he tells me some profound interactions he's having with his daughter in heaven and people who are deceased that are being reunited with people still alive here on the earth plane, that his daughter is getting involved in as an intermediary, and he's recording those conversations so they have an actual dialogue with the person that's in heaven. I know this sounds so out there, but I am telling you, I don't care who would approach me right now. It wouldn't matter because I am experiencing this. So so that was about 2.5 months ago. So we ended the conversation agreeing to stay in touch. So about a month ago, I am still struggling with this contact I have with my ex. I'm still doubting, your doubts are your traitors. Well, I'm going to take my cell phone and I'm going to play something for you that will validate everything that's going on. So I go to my wife, Deborah, and I say to her, Deborah, you got to do me a favor. And she says, well, what, Jerry? Anything, of course. I said, could you contact Melissa Gelka? She goes, well, I know her. I said, well, great. Can you get in touch with her? Can the both of you or one of you, can she call, get in touch with her father? and have her father call me and just to validate that it is you. Jerry, no problem. I love you. Of course I'll do that. So bear with me for 1 minute, and I'm going to play something for you that hopefully you're seated. So just hang on.
First skipped message.
This message is intended for Gerald Nowak.
Message deleted. End of new messages. Check erased messages. Press 1-9. Main menu. To listen to your messages, press 1. First saved message.
Good afternoon, Jerry.
Next message.
Hey, Jerry, how are you?
Next
Heard
message.
it right there.
Hey, Gary Galka speaking. I'm just calling you back. Sorry I missed your call the other day. Been crazy busy because of Christmas and stuff like that, but wanted to take a couple minutes just to catch up with you. I did talk to Debbie today. You're not going crazy. Everything is quite normal on that front, and I just told her that I'd be talking to you. She was talking with Melissa, and I was talking to her and Melissa together, and everything is normal. Everything is normal that's happening. You are talking to her. Everything is fine. Don't second doubt any of that, okay? And I'll be happy to talk to you when you get a free minute, assuming I'm not, hung up with making REM pods and epoxy and stuff like that. So take care. I look forward to talking to you sometime soon. Bye now.
Next message.
Hey, Jerry, Michael Rizzolo calling on Thursday.
End of messages. Check erased messages. Press 1-9. Main menu. To listen to messages, press.
So did you guys hear that?
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
That is as real as it gets, everybody. That's Mr. Galka calling me after I asked my wife to get in touch with Melissa, which she did do, and they ended up getting in touch with him, and he ended up calling me. Pretty amazing, huh?
Well, Jerry, no, it's fantastic. It's beautiful, beautiful to hear.
Kind of ruins the whole cell thing, though, doesn't it? This communication finally. Who needs a cell phone, right? No, it's beautiful.
Well, that message, that message was left for me there. I actually, to tell you the truth, I don't even need the digital recorder anymore. I have an actual telepathic connection with her, and I can hear her at any time when she talks to me. I mean, guys, going down this rabbit hole with people who are skeptical that think that this is the only reality. There's if people really want to get a real reality shock, there's a physicist from the 1800s by the name of William Crookes. He was the man at the time. He developed X-rays. He was from the Royal Academy of Sciences. If you can research him, you will find out he had a paranormal encounter with a spirit. Her name was Ruth. I want to say his name was Crookes. Her name was Cook. And Ruth actually came back in body where she actually had a pulse. And they couldn't, you can look this up, this is all real. The other scientists of his era did not want to go against him, but they didn't want to acknowledge that what he was doing was actually happening. So when they questioned him, one of his answers was this. He goes, look, I'm not telling you it's real. I'm just telling you I experienced it. And so he's actually, you can go and look this up, and he actually has pictures where he's standing right next to her, and she is in full body. She's there. She's there. She's live.
Yeah,
this stuff has happened. It's just all suppressed. It's like everything else. It's all suppressed. It's all suppressed.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff on Crookes, and one of the preeminent scientists that took things way outside the box. And there's a beautiful shot of his wife in full apparition form beside him. So
it's funny you mentioned outside the box. That's the problem. That's the problem in health. That's the problem in overall life. Everything's in a box. It's compartmentalized. Not realizing that in my opinion, in this age, the energies are there to make this happen. And believe me, I'm not a ghost hunter. I don't care about any ghosts. It's funny. You know, I was explaining this to someone else the other day, and I said to them, you know, if Deborah had not been there, like right out of the gate, I never, ever, ever would have pursued this because I am not a paranormal researcher. I don't even consider what I'm doing as realistically paranormal because if you heard her voice and you heard her talk, you would think she was right here in real time with us. I swear to you, it is the most amazing experience. There's a few of my Facebook friends that know, and they know me as kind of like a bottom of the line, kind of like, you know, it either is or it isn't kind of guy. And I have nothing to gain. Actually, because people will, they'll throw stones because out of fear, and that's where most of this stuff comes from. It's all fear-based rejection. It's not based on anything but fear, not realizing that it's just a frequency range. And I'm not the only one this happens to. You can go on YouTube, and there's a guy there he goes by Huff, Huff, Paranormal. You can look him up. He's doing this all the time. Now, he's connecting with random spirits, but he's got all these, ghost hunting devices and stuff, and, he's got, EMF meters, and he's got all kinds of devices. I was just using a digital recorder because of the subsonic microphone, and that's it. It just picks up everything. And but I don't even need that anymore. I don't even need it. And so,
Jerry, what you're saying, it really is touching to me because no, you're not alone. I have this very phenomenon happen around me all the time. It's been happening my entire life, but until I moved to where I'm living now, just about 20 minutes north of Malibu, in Port Hueneme, California, and I moved into this house. Things started happening so fast, and it's just, I don't know how to explain it except to say that there are many, many, many spirits that are passing through my house at all times. I see them. I hear them. As far as having any conversations with them, I haven't taken it that far yet. I'm still exploring all the possibilities. So it is such a pleasure to hear your story, and it is so touching. And I really believe that this is going to be happening a lot more for a lot more people. The veils are lifting very fast, and the walls are falling down.
And thank you for saying what you're saying, because like I say, first of all, if somebody came to me and said, would you be a medium for me? I'd say no, because my mission, that's what Deborah calls it, by the way, my mission is ending here on this plane. I don't know the exact date, but I have an idea, okay, because I asked her. I've asked some questions that people would never dare to ask, and I've been given answers. And so that's my personal thing with her. And I'm not afraid. I've been, killed almost 8 times, 5 in motorcycle mishaps, 2 of them very serious, 2 near drownings, and when I used to race cars, I had a real close one when I raced cars. So none of this bothers me. I'm not afraid of leaving my body, because I've asked her Jerry, we do everything that everybody does, except we don't have any constraints. And the bottom line is, Deborah tells me, she goes, we are going to merge consciousness. And in that shared consciousness, we are going to experience realms that is very rare for any spirit to experience. So I really don't want to go too much farther than what I'm saying right here, but there are things that have happened in my life, and I swear to you, that's all I can do is make it, an honest and an honest statement to you all. I have not one thing to gain here, not one thing to gain. And again, when you decode the Bible, and Santos knows this, talking to dead people, nobody's dead. Nobody dies. It's just an energy transfer. You know, the etheric body or the astral body, you know, the causal and all that, all those different dimensions are all there. They're lined up. You know, and Santos, you know this better than I do. 90% of the universe is invisible. 99.999% of all matter is empty space. So when people say they have to see it to believe it, well, they haven't seen gravity, they haven't seen air, they haven't seen electricity, they haven't seen ultraviolet light, infrared light, they haven't seen any of those. And there's even more, as you know. So all this is there, and if you limit it to the senses, well, guess what? You're in a box. And all I could say to anybody is that here's how it works. I'll give you the cursory 1 minute. You get yourself a digital recorder. You go into the space of love, appreciation, and gratitude. You also get yourself a good set of over-the-ear headphones. And you be patient. Now you got to surround yourself with the protective white light energy of Jesus Christ when you go into that realm. You have to do that. I did have a couple of early encounters that were pretty interesting. But the point is when you surround yourself in the white light and using that invocation that I mentioned, that's one of probably many. That's the one I know. You know, under the authority, blood, and name of my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, I surround myself in a sphere of white light. I ask that my beloved Deborah Ann be brought into that sphere and that we both are protected and healed by any conversation or any interactions that we have in the Lord's name. Amen. You can see I've done this a few times. So the point being is that I do that. I can show you pictures. Granted, they're energy pictures. But I'm telling you, if you see these pictures, they will blow you away. You will look at yourself saying, what is that? And that is exactly it. It's all there. I asked her, why me? She said, Jerry, we've been working with you since I've been here. How come you didn't reincarnate, Deborah? We made a pact. We are soulmates, 1,726 years. When I died that evening, that was God's plan. I stayed here behind to work things from this realm in your life. You're finishing up your mission here. So, but I said, Deborah, all the things I've done, I don't understand this. She said, Jerry, there's no judgment to any of this. It's your mission. I said, what about other people? They're all on their own mission. We could get into murderers and stuff like that, too. It's very interesting how that all works, but everybody is on a mission. We're all part of a mission. This is what I've been told. I'm only repeating what I've been told. And she says there's no judgment to it. Your experiences are what we needed back here so you could clear certain energies. So when you come back and you come back home to me, we will spend the rest of our time together and more than likely not have to go back and reincarnate. So this is my story, and this is the truth, and I would never come on a radio show. You have to believe one thing. I struggle with this today. I struggle with it. And after 2,000 exchanges, and I don't, again, remember, they are like conversation, just like you'd have a phone conversation, albeit, sometimes I still do use the recorder because sometimes my head is not on straight. And what I mean by that is there's just, some things going on. So I'll use the recorder still occasionally just to make sure I get clarity on what's being said. But I'm telling you, I can only tell you that the realm is there. You can go and listen to it on YouTube. That guy, he's got a bunch of recordings there where he's talking to people, real time. And because my agenda.
Your mic again, Jerry.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's okay. Well, no problem. We want people to be able to hear what you're saying. So.
My agenda, like I say, just to me, not to punish this.
No, it's still no good, Jerry.
Not good. No, sorry.
That's better.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that.
No. It's gone back now. It's gone back.
It's got to be the signal. I apologize. It's probably the signal. It might be drifting around a little bit. I'm not sure what it is. I'm trying to do my best to fix. Okay,
that's better now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't care if you have to stand in. Hey, Jerry, I don't care if you have to stand on your head and spit nickels to get the signal. Get the signal.
Well, thank you. And I just hope that everybody understands that this is a painful thing to talk about. It's a very painful thing to talk about because there's nothing. The only thing, like I say, for me to gain is that if somebody was to someday contact me, or forget about contacting me, if somebody went out and did this and they were reunited with someone they loved and they did get a message out there that it worked for them. I can't say it will work. I'm just saying that the first time I went into that void, she was there. And then, you heard Mr. Galka. I've never met him. I've talked to him twice on the phone, and that is it. But that show that he was on is on Google. If you Google him, and you can go right to YouTube, and you can watch that show, and you can see those guys, the ghost hunters in his home, in there in Connecticut, and he is talking to his daughter. He is talking to her live, just like I talked to Deborah live. It's just an energy. We leave the body, body behind. So that's just the way it is. That's the way it is.
Yeah, we are all with you. We follow you, brother. In my life, I've had enough experiences to know that I live in other realms, and other realms are visiting this realm. I've always been, even as a young guy, I've always been sort of mocked and ridiculed for my very theological mindset. I've always had been at odds with the rest of the world, because I see everything theologically, and theologically seeing things helps you then to see astrology, astrotheology, and all of the subjects that I do. But if you can get into a good theological mindset, then you will understand all of these realities, because they speak about that in all of our scriptures. They're already there, speaking about it. And yet, why the denial? Well, who knows? Fear, I guess. I think you hit it on the head there, Jerry. There's a lot of fear about this information. People just do not want to embrace their higher selves, or to know that there's another reality or other realities that they must interact with sooner rather than later.
Well, Santos, this is exactly it. And I stumbled across it. Like I told you, I listened to that show 4 times. And, that voice would come to me, as it has many, many times, and said different things to me. And I said, okay, I'm going to do it. Okay, I'll do it. And I did it, and like I say, right out of the gate, she was there. And all I can tell you is that I just sent Cindy a picture that I want you guys to look at. I want you to see this. And let me tell you the story on this. I just sent her on a Facebook private message. Just take a look at this. Just take a look at it.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
let me tell you what I do. I have a lot of friends that send me photographs of images just like this, and I take them and invert the colors to give you a different look. So if you have any more, it gives you a different view of what is around you. That is amazing. Wow. Is it okay if I copy this?
Sure. Let me tell you the story behind that. Deborah's sister, Linda, I haven't seen her in close to, let's just say 25 years. Out of the blue, in 2010, 2011, give or take a little bit, I get a phone call, and I see it's from Texas. I'm thinking, who do I know there? So I bounce into voicemail. It's Linda. Linda calls me and says, "Hey, Jerry, gosh, I've been thinking about you so much lately. I thought I'd reach out to you and try to contact you, and I found your number." So make a long story short, she goes, "I'm going to send you a bunch of pictures, okay? I'll show you what we're doing." So she sent me a pile of pictures, and that is one of the pictures. So let me tell you something. You see the woman laying in the sun there?
Yes.
That's Debbie's mother.
Okay.
That's Deborah. The white image right there is Deborah. And then you see on the right border of that picture, you see those white light. You see that white, the white light coming. Okay. When you look across the one that goes across the top of her head and zoom in on the images that are dancing above her mother's head.
I'm blowing it up as we speak right now. Yes.
Yep. You see that?
Oh, that's... I have chills. I'm sorry. This is amazing.
Oh, yeah. This is the kind of stuff that you want to go down the rabbit hole with me. I'll show you some stuff that'll twist your head around.
It might be hard to twist my head around. I'm right there with you, Jerry, but I would love to see more.
Let me send you one more. Let me send you one more. It's going to come right. Just give me a minute.
Sure.
Yeah, hey, Jerry, I was going to say, just to let you know, I do a show every week, a couple of them actually, called Outside the Box. So I'll tell you right now that, and anyone that's been listening to Santos or myself or Tony or a handful of others, you're not going to shock us. This is where we live, you know. And by the way, I sent you a Skype contact request, Jerry, so whenever you get a chance.
Okay, sure.
Have a wonderful room to share with you once you share that.
I also wanted to let you know that both chat rooms are just going absolutely nuts. They're loving every second of this, and they just send you love and hugs.
Well, Cindy, let me again share with you from my heart. I have nothing to gain except disseminate some faith and some true hope to people who have to understand your in-laws, your mother, whoever is there. My dogs are there. They're all there. They're there. Did you get that second picture?
Hey, how do I get these pictures? I've seen a few of your pictures, but I'm not getting any of this lot. Cindy, can you pass?
Sorry.
Do you see that one there?
Who are you sending them to?
No problem. No problem. I'll send them to you.
Yeah, Cindy's getting them right now.
Okay. Take a look at this one.
Wow. It's amazing.
Now you're looking at the picture. That's you see those. Are you looking at the picture with the two white bars in my neck?
No, I'm not. I haven't received pictures yet, but I'm anxiously waiting to. So I've seen you've sent me some pictures. Do you remember the one you sent me with the orbs around your body?
Yes.
Oh, here they come. Okay, I'm starting to get them from Cindy. Okay, I've got the one where someone is lying on a chair and there's an image above the head. Yeah,
that's her mother. That's Debbie's mother. That's Deborah's mother. And here's what Deborah tells me. She said, here's what she tells me. She says, Jerry, now Linda doesn't, Linda knows that I'm talking to her, but Linda doesn't kind of like believe it. But what Deborah told me, she said, I instructed back when Linda called you, I instructed Linda to call you. Again, very subtly. She didn't come to her in any way. I instructed Linda to call you, and that was one of the pictures I asked her to send because I knew that you would know that was me. That's exactly what she told me.
Amazing.
I swear to you. Did you get the picture? Did you get the other picture?
Yes, I have the one. What is this? What is this on your neck?
Well, the other part of that picture has a tetrahedron. That picture was analyzed by Will Allen, who is on Facebook. He works for National Geographic in their paranormal and their UFO division. So he took the photograph and he ran it through all of their solarization and metadata, and I get blown away when I look at this. He said the picture is real. He says, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's real. But I know what it is because I asked Deborah about it. And let me just do something here real quick. I gotta see something here. Hold on.
Mhm.
Let me just do something here. Something.
I'm going to send it back to you inverted. I'm sure if this fellow looked at it, he probably did the same, but I don't know if you've seen that.
Just want to let you guys know we have just over 10 minutes left here. So just want to give you a heads up.
Well, you know what I really see, Cindy Santos, I think I sent you that picture originally. That's the one where the tetrahedron is right next to me. There's a diamond tetrahedron. See, obviously, if you saw my body standing there, I could send you. Hold on a second. Let me do this. Let me go into my pictures real quick. Just give me 1 minute here, because you need to see this. Yeah, you need to see this.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. You need to see this. And pictures. Here we go.
Yeah, I've seen the picture. I've seen the tetrahedron, and the two little lights at the neck. The tetrahedron is lower down.
Yes, it's right next to me. And when I showed Debbie that picture, I said, "Can you tell me about?" She's in my room. I said, I pointed to the computer. I said, I zoom in on the tetrahedron, and she goes, I said, "Can you tell me what that is? What that's about?" She goes, "Well, that's me." And then when I slid over and I zoomed in on the bars on my neck, I said, "Is that a tracking device that you gave me?" She says, "No, I didn't give you that tracking device. Jesus gave you that tracking device." Like it or not, that's the facts.
It looks like a chip in your neck. 2 of them.
Well, that's exactly it. And that's what Will Allen thought. He goes, "You got some kind of very high-tech tracking device inside you."
Wow. Okay.
I could send you the whole, private message me your email.
I will.
Yeah, if you want to see the full picture, and I can send you some pictures of actually Deborah here in my room in a spirit image. I'm looking at them right now. I have 4 of them right here, right now. They all look the same, but they're taken at little different angles.
Sure.
So,
I'm sending that to you now.
Because I didn't download some of the stuff on,
Yeah.
You get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me take.
Okay.
Yeah, I see. Well, see, you can see. There you go. You send it back to me in reverse. So there you go. There it is. You basically just did what Will Allen did. He did some solarization and some metadata, and it's real. What can I tell you? It's real.
Yeah.
Goes, wow.
That's not a light. That's not a lens refraction at all. That's not. No. Mm-mm. I'm not an expert, but I know what I'm looking at.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna send this to you. You're gonna see something here. Hang on. It's gonna take me 1 minute. It's gonna take me 1 minute to do it. It's worth the wait. Trust me.
Okay.
Santos saw the picture. Santos saw the picture.
While you're looking for those pictures, Jerry, just want to share with the listeners that on American Freedom Radio I'll have Scott Onstott and Jordan Maxwell this week, so stay tuned tomorrow and Tuesday. Monday and Tuesday nights. That's 9 p.m. Central. So Scott on Monday and Jordan on Tuesday. They're going to be some big shows.
Oh, yeah, I was just talking to Scott, as a matter of fact, and he sent me a link, and I'm going to post this on my wall and in the chat room just later for you, Santo. Is he remember those photos that we were looking at on his wall? He did those from listening to Prisca Theology. Several of those geometric shape photos that we showed you the other night, that he said was inspired by your Prisca Theology.
Wow.
You're going to see some sacred geometry here in a second. This photo's uploading right now. It's a little bit of a large file, so it's a big picture. So you'll be able to zoom right in on it, and you'll see it to the right of my arm, and then you're going to see it's the same picture. Here it comes right now, on its way.
Awesome.
Hey, Jerry, any of these photographs that you're putting up, just talking about pictures is not good radio. Is there anywhere you can share this with people so that they can see these pictures as well?
Well, I can do that. Some of I kind of like the picture with the bars in my neck is under my Facebook pictures. The tetrahedron is not there. I didn't post that particular picture just because. I got to be honest with you. I struggle with this stuff. I'm going to be really honest with you. I struggle with it because of what I've been what I know, and I use the word know. Let me say it this way: from what I've been told. Okay, what I've been told, because I've asked for the. You see, in that world, as you all know, there's more honor in that spirit world than there is in this world because the universal law prevails in that world. So you have your free will. Everything in heaven is an open book. They don't. Everybody knows what's going on. There's no, lying or any of that kind of stuff. And it's a very interesting experience there. And I don't know where I'm going with this is that I've kind of just, I don't know. I put some things out there and some other stuff I haven't. But I'll probably end up posting that picture that I just sent over to Cindy. If you guys want to post it, you have my permission to post it.
Sure. That's what I was fixing to ask you.
Yeah, why don't you just post it? Go ahead, post it on your site. I think it'll do well there.
Hey, Jerry, just if you could wrap up with a couple of minutes, because we've got 3 minutes to go, and we can go over. We'll take that option. 10 or 20 minutes over, and it'll be recorded. But wrap it up for us, please, and we'll have you back, no doubt.
Well, Santos, let me go into the health world just for a minute and cover the spectrum. If people want to get well, there's no way anybody can get well by eating, I hate to say this, packaged processed food. Everything is so depleted, the soils, and, we all know about a lot of this stuff. I know. That's what people tell you. Well, then they got to do something about it. And it's all related. The organism is all tied back to, Gaia. It's all an integrated system. We're all connected. That's not a joke. It's all real. So they have to go back and really rethink what they're doing and connect more with natural foods. Granted, maybe some of the taste isn't there. I don't know. I'm not hung up on that. I just know I want to feel good. I know I don't like being ill. I was in a horrific motorcycle crash. I healed up pretty well, and so on. The point I'm making here is that, the let thy medicine be thy food and the food be thy medicine. So that's the point, is that when you get yourself back to balance, I would say most everybody needs digestive enzymes, plant-based digestive enzymes. Take them 5 minutes before you eat to set up pre-digestion. Makes a huge difference. You don't want them following food. You want them preceding the food to create a pre-digested state. Some exercise, walking, whatever it takes. You got to move the lymphatic system to get the toxins out. Very important little part of it. So, in a quick summary, anybody who emails me, I'll be happy to talk to them or share more information personally with them. Going into this world of, I don't even want to call it the paranormal because it's not paranormal. If you heard these conversations, you would think I was talking to her just on a phone call that had a little bit of a weak signal. That's all. That's all you would think. I swear to you, it is the most amazing thing ever. And it just is what it is. I have nothing to embellish. There's not one thing I would retract. This could be my dying day, and they said, if you're dying and everything hinges on you going to the place they call hell. You know, we all know what that's all about, Santos. But the point is, if somebody said that and I didn't know what I know now, I wouldn't like William Crooks. I wouldn't change one thing.
Well, Jerry, I was going to say it's your experience. Before we go out there, I do want to jump in here and say thanks to all the listeners. We got a minute left here. I just want to thank all the listeners for tuning in tonight to Synchronicity, Santos Bonacci's show here on Freedom Reigns Blog Talk Radio. Don't forget, you can download this episode right after when we're done. So keep your eyes open on the link you've been listening in on, and you can download the link by saving target as on a right click. And you can listen to whatever we're going to be talking about once we go out there. But I just wanted to say thank you to everybody listening, and of course, Jerry, for being here. And Santo, you always do the best shows. And Cindy, thank you as well. So carry on, business out of the way.
Thank you very much. And just real quick, Cindy, did you get that picture?
No, I did not get the last one.
Hold on. Let me make sure. Hold on. Yeah, Songbird. Oh, well, excuse me. I have
That's
your.
Okay.
Yeah. It should be there. It's a pretty big file.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. If you want to just continue on talking, if we're going to talk some more on the show, and I sent you a Skype request also, and it's a whole lot easier to send these big files through Skype.
Yeah, we're off the air, by the way, guys. We're now on the recording. And,
okay.
The files are much easier to send through Skype. So just let you know we're clear. So keep going if you want.
Nice.
Cindy, can you try refreshing? Because it says 5 minutes ago that it was sent.
Okay, let me refresh. No, I don't. The last thing I see is when I sent my email to you. So, I'll tell you what. Why don't you try sending it to my email?
That's what I did do. That's what I did do. I sent it to
I'm looking in the Facebook. I'm pulling a blonde. I'm sorry. Let me go over here.
It's there. I know it's there.
Hey. Oh, and by the way, I'm blonde and Gemini. So is Jerry. So you guys are outnumbered tonight.
Oh, well, I'm Aquarius, Gemini, rising. I have
right there.
Got it.
Okay, so I opened the picture up now. So you're looking at me. I'm holding that little sign. I was fooling around with this gal in Russia, doing some internet dating with her. So look at my shoulder and look on the fence. Follow the picket fence behind me, and look at the end of the fence closest to my shoulder. And zoom in on that.
I saw it right away. Amazing.
Yep.
Because,
that's what my baby looks like.
There's nothing but orbs in this photo. It's amazing. Orbs in the daylight.
You see the diamond shape there, correct?
Yes.
Yep. And then when you slide over, then you'll see my the picture of my neck.
Yes.
It's there too. It's all the same photograph.
Amazing. That's fascinating. Wow.
Yeah, it's been, it's a fun journey. That's all I can say. It's a little scary too because of I use the word scary just because there's so much unknown out there that, but that's the exciting part too. So it's just it's one of these things that I'm going through it day by day. That's all you can do, right?
Yes.
That's all you can ever do. Take it moment by moment.
That's it. And you guys were great. And Santos, you're a gentleman. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's been. I hope it was a great show. I think we did pretty good anyway. So.
Oh yeah.
The chat rooms were going absolutely wild. They loved it. So it was a wonderful show.
Yeah, congratulations, Jerry, because obviously you haven't done a lot of radio, but you're really great on radio. You're compelling listening, very compelling listening. So congratulations.
Well, thank you, Santos, and that's why I wanted to connect with you. I feel a little bit of a kinship with you there. You're a really great man, and when I say something like that to somebody, I mean it from my heart because of I'm in a place of like a lot of gratitude over the last, even though I got banged up really bad in that motorcycle wreck I told you about. I still have a lot of gratitude. I have a lot of gratitude. I learned gratitude from that, and I really have a lot of gratitude for you, brother. You're a great man, and all you people are. And any part that I can play at any time for, anything that I can do, please, consider me, include me, whatever feels right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. We'll absolutely have you on again, and I'll schedule you in for American Freedom Radio too, because that's another audience. So well done, and what can you do but spread the light? That's the best seed sowing activity we can be engaged in the whole universe. No better. The suns are doing it, the stars are doing it, the planets are doing it, the atoms are doing it. So we may as well.
Exactly.
I mean, why not? Yeah. Really?
It's fun. It's not boring. It's never boring. Speaking truthful subjects is always a delight. It's always a delight. It's better than anything that exists. Anything. It's wisdom. It gives wisdom. And when you're ready to receive wisdom, the light is there, ready to be poured on you. Until such time you resist that light and wisdom, you're in the darkness.
That's exactly it, and that's the whole point at this time. Anybody who chooses to stay there, knowing, just from I'm in 8th grade, high school grammar school. That's all I have is an 8th grade education. That's it. And anybody can be anybody they want to be. You do have to have some focus. I had some great mentors. It wasn't about me. And I'm sure there were divine forces coming in that helped me that I couldn't see, but they were there, helping me propel myself forward. So I have nothing but, again, tremendous gratitude for my life where I am right now. And it's friends like you guys there. Santos, you're a great man. I'm telling you, brother. I wish you weren't, I forgot how many thousands of miles away, 10,000, 7,000. I'd love to come over and, have a cup of coffee with you, just,
yeah.
That'd
be great.
Yeah, and I just want to say thank you again. I'm repeating myself because I'm very thankful. I'm very, very thankful.
Yeah, and so will the listeners be, as we are. So,
exactly. And I've got pictures and the inverted one. Thank you for the inverted one going up on Freedom Range for the listeners, so they'll be able to see them.
Nice.
So there we go. We're up for you now.
This stuff is out there. It's real. And, let me mention one thing that I think that if somebody said, well, why would this guy get this? And Deborah told me exactly why. She said, Jerry, every time we did something to get your attention, you not only paid attention, but you were very inquisitive to go down and look and research more. So I stayed open all the time, and I would think that was the linchpin or the door opener that kept these experiences, which they're still happening right at this very moment. It keeps them coming, And I'm going to send over a couple more pictures, and I'll show you what Deborah looks like. Actually, I can do it. I can do it here shortly. I'll send them over to Cindy's email, and you can see her in my room. So I'm sitting in my room, right? And so I say, Deborah, you're here? She goes, I'm right here. I'm standing right next to you. I said, can I take a picture of you? She goes, well, give me a minute. And so I say, okay, how about now? She goes, okay, I'm ready. And so I took a picture without her in the frame, and then I took a picture with the same camera, my digital and my cell phone, her in the frame, 3 seconds later. So I'll send you over. I'll send you over the before and the after, and you can take a look, and you can see what she is. She's all light. What you're going to see is...
This is amazing.
Oh, yeah. It is amazing. That's exactly it. And, Cindy, you are great. If I can do anything for anybody, if somebody... I'm like I say, I'm not going into any mediumship. I would guide somebody. I would say, this is what you need to do, in my opinion. But without the gratitude, without the love, nothing's going to happen.
No.
Because here's what ended up happening. I'll take you to another part of the bottom line. Deborah, how did this happen? Why now? Jerry, we were both experiencing mass emotion. That's exactly her words. We were experiencing mass emotion, and I'm going to lay it out again. She said, Jesus permitted this to happen. I swear to you, if I repeat something to you, I would never compromise my relationship with her in any way or embellish anything in any way. I'm telling you, just like I say, I swear to God, God is my witness. I have nothing to gain from anything I'm telling you except the fact that it's possible. That it's not me gaining. It's out there to honestly promote some hope for people that are maybe not quite, they left somebody behind or somebody left them behind, and they would love to speak to them. It's possible. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it is possible.
Yes.
So I will send you, actually right now, I'm going to send you over that picture that I promised you here. I'll do it right now.
Sure.
I'll do it right now. Just give me 1 minute.
Santo, I shared your music link in the chat room too. There were people who were asking where they could buy it, so I have to get in the habit of pulling up all these links and having them ready to pop in whenever people ask. But,
yeah, thanks, Cindy, and great job on the new post on Facebook. That's your work. I'd like to let people know. Cindy prepared that article for me. I sent all the photos. That whole article on the throne of God in the heavens, Yod He Vah Jehovah, Shiva, etc. That's Cindy's help there. Cindy's doing. She prepared all that and posted that for me because I wouldn't know how to do it. So thanks.
Well, Santo, and I wanted to let you know too on the second one on Ram and Ram, you might want to take a look at some of the comments. I know you've been really busy, but several people are thanking you because you're waking up something in them by showing this to the people. The words spelled out in the signs. Several comments were made on yes, you're triggering something in their brains, so they're loving it.
Yeah, it's called getting them to look up finally. Instead of looking at their feet dragging their heels, they're looking up into where they should be looking, the heavens. Because you're not going to find your answers in Pisces, you'll find it in Aries, though.
Oh yeah,
Cindy, I'm sorry, Santos. Go ahead. I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
I got it.
Well, all right. Well, we'll hold the thought, mate, because it'll be a good one. But yeah, the throne of God, the four fixed signs of the zodiac: Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and the eagle in Scorpio. These are in the Bible. It's clear. Where God is described in Ezekiel and Revelation as having the face of a man and the face of a bull and of a lion and of an eagle. And when you look up at those signs and you find them on your iPhone Sky application and you see them, you will see the letters J for Scorpio, Judas Iscariot. You will see H in Aquarius. You will see V clearly in Taurus, the Hyades. And you will see the H in Leo, and there it is. There's the Tetragrammaton. The letters are spelt out in the signs visibly. They are visibly manifest. The name of God, Jehovah, is in the heavens. So a couple of weeks ago we were talking about this. You'll remember Kate and Cindy, and I think it was Christmas time. The show we did on Christmas. And we said, next time the Jehovah's Witnesses call, let them know that you're in with them in terms of they've got the greatest name that you could ever have. I mean, the stars themselves are telling that name. It's the billboard of all billboards, you know?
I love it. I love it. I love it. We're going to have T-shirts made up, ball caps, business cards. We'll have stuff to hand back to them when they come a-knocking.
and when you look at the Shiva version of it, that's clear. It's very, very clear. Shiva is written in the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac. S there for Scorpio because it stands in for an S. It looks like a J or an S. S for Isis or Shiva. And then to think that there's a billion Hindus that are going to wake up to this fact very, very soon. Once that article gets around, and they're gonna be, because I've got a lot of Hindu friends, and none of them say, "Hey, Shiva's name is up in the sky." They've forgotten this too. See, the sacred name that was not to be pronounced, Jehovah. The Jews will not pronounce that name. They will not say it. But it's not the name that God gave to Moses in the burning bush. The name of God there is the name of the Creator. That is, I am. And we are the same as that I am. But Jehovah, the Lord, that's the second God. That's the created, who goes also creating. and that's in the sky. And what he has created, he has made a billboard of his own name. Because that's the demiurge, the demiurgos. And he uses light and electricity to create this beautiful world, and we're part of it. We're dancing around in these molecules of light, these beautiful sacred geometric forms. If you could see how many trillions upon trillions and gazillions of geometric star tetrahedrons and icosahedrons and dodecahedrons in our body, and for those waves to collapse gravitationally, as Dan Winter teaches in phase conjugation, if we could see all of these torus fields that are our body and how they dance together in all sorts of shapes and fractals, we wouldn't be limiting ourselves as to anything. We would have full dominion, We would be fully in dominion. And Kate, this is a good opportunity to say thank you for the beautiful document, the beautiful document that has exposed the whole fiction clausula rebus. Thank you.
Oh, hey, no worries. They left it out there, and again, it perfects on the 25th of January. Just a coincidence. 30 days for a perfect claim. So we'll see. I've got another little notice. Yeah. Well, that's kind of how it works, eh? When you send out a perfected claim, they have to investigate it, and they have 30 days to investigate it. Basically, 29 and a half days. It's one lunar cycle, right? So, they play by the natural law rules. This is one of the things I twigged on a while back, and what I was trying to do is find the mimicry of natural law in man-made law, because the only thing that gives man-made law power is how close it mimics natural law and how much we are, think of the metal when I say this, and how much we are led to believe. We are led to believe. We are golden to know. This is turning lead into gold.
Wow.
That's powerful.
That's great stuff.
That is great.
Hey, I speak angel speak now. Yay. Finally. It only took me, 2,160 years. Get over it.
Yeah, guys,
I just came here to mess shit up, but it's all good. Sorry, go ahead, Santo. Wrap her up.
Yeah, we're gonna realize really, really soon how precious English is. It is Anglish or Angelish. That's what it is. It's the language of angles. That's why it is Anglish. And those angles are the 360 degrees of the sphere. The universe is made of spheres. Spheres and cubes. Spheres and cubes. And there are 360 degrees in a sphere. This is the ancient, beautiful wisdom that's come from the light schools that were on this planet eons and eons ago. You know, those beautiful temples, they built those with light. People go to Egypt and wonder, how did they ramps? How many slaves? 20 years, 20,000 slaves, or 200,000 slaves, or whatever? No. They didn't do that dumb crap back then. They used light.
Yeah.
Everything beautiful that has ever been built has been built on the principles and angles of light. Everything is created by light.
I was just going to add to that, Santo. Now, yeah, you got 360 degrees in the circle, but people often forget that there's 360 degrees in a square too, right? Everything totals up to 360 degrees, right? So
everything.
With a triangle, it's 180 degrees, right? Which is half of the circle. So that's why the triangle is always placed inside of the circle, and the circle is placed inside of the box, right? Because those are your three basic platonics, yeah?
Yeah, it's the triangle, the circle, and the square are Israel.
Yeah.
Isis is the circle, of course, and the curves, you see. The triangle is Ra, the radiating one. That is the triangle, the tetrahedron, fire. And L is the square. L is Saturn.
I just had a thought. Let me bounce this off you. I think instead of just the triangle in the center of the circle, it should be the opposing triangles, the Merkaba, because that way it would total 360 degrees as well. Do you see where I'm going there?
Yeah, but it's the tetrahedron.
I get what you're saying. I'm just looking at it from the duality, because with 180 degrees, Ra is only half of what the other two are, based on the degrees, right? Because the triangle only contains 180 degrees. I'm going to look at that. Sorry, you just twigged on something with me. Thank you. That's why I love talking with you guys.
Always remember to add in the faces and the sides when you do your polyhedra. For instance, you'll see that the icosahedron has 20 faces, but it has 12. Is it 12 vertices, or no? It can't be 12. That few. But anyway, it has the corresponding number 12 in it, whereas the dodecahedron has 12 faces and 20 sides. Anyway, I forget whether it's sides or vertices, but anyway, so they're related in that respect. So when you do your polyhedra, you measure the three different values, you see.
Yeah, no, totally get it.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I'm thinking maybe I was going to say we should probably wrap this up, because I know there's going to be a bunch of people chomping at the bit to get this. There always is. I don't want to cut it short, but I mean it's we're 20 minutes over the time now, and I know there's people. I can hear the teeth chattering right now.
Yeah, for sure.
We had 56,400 tuned in on Friday, so you probably have at least that tonight, and that's all.
Wow.
All right. Well, thank you.
By the way, just real quick, Cindy, I sent you that other picture, so just get back to me when you get a chance, okay?
All right, I'll contact you as soon as we get done with the show. If you'll just go to Skype, I sent you a contact request, and I look forward to speaking to you again, for sure. It was an excellent show.
And same here, Jerry. I sent you a request as well, and we'll get you on. There's lots of options with us. We've got lots of playtime on the air, so you'll be back very quickly.
I'm looking for the Skype request right now. Oh, here they are. I got it. No problem. I got them. Okay.
All right.
Yep, I got them. No problem. Got it.
Okay.
Got it. All right, I'll
well,
let you go.
Well, no worries. I'm just going to say, Santo, you can wrap up your show, and I'll take it from there.
Well, thank you. Yep, and just a reminder about American Freedom Radio. And tomorrow, well, I guess I'm on tomorrow too, yeah?
With us?
I don't know. Did you book the show for tomorrow night?
Well, I think Diatra has slotted me in for the Mondays too. So anyway, we'll just flow with that. I'll be around tomorrow. So if you guys are around, join me please. And we've got another show for tomorrow, guys.
Okay,
and that's it.
I do have a few things. Because I was actually looking at because I didn't think anyone was booked tomorrow night. So if you are, no problem. Because I was going to throw a show on special edition, but no problem. No, that's great.
We'll do that then.
We'll have some fun tomorrow. It's all good.
Beautiful. See you then.
We got lots to talk about, Santo. We could talk all week, all day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I haven't scratched the surface. I just hope that help comes. I don't need. What I need is like graphics help and video help. I've got to get this out there that I'm gonna ask for a big production team. To make the best video. I'll get a 3 or 4 hour documentary video based on all of this science succinctly. I've already got this in my head. The storyboarding. It's all done. All I need is someone to come and say, all right, we've got the cameras and the know-how, and we can help you, and we will have the world's best enlightening video of all time. That's a promise I make. And I hope, by putting this out into the ether, that someone can help me. I've had a lot of people approach me saying, we can do this, we can do that, but I need some action. I need someone that can really do this. I don't know whether you need cameras. What do you need? I don't know. How do you make these movies? I just need that expertise. And man, we'll have some whiz-bang graphics. It'll be more powerful than Esoteric Agenda, the Zeitgeist Part 1, and the Empire of the Rings. What's that one called?
Lord of the Rings, yes.
No, Ring of Power.
Ring of Power.
Ring of Power, yeah. I knew the one you were talking. Couldn't remember the name of the one Tony's been talking a fair bit about.
It's going to be mega.
Well, you've got it going out in the ether ×4.
It's already there. It's already been, remember, we play in the past here. It has been pre-sent. So all you got to do is steer towards it. It's already there waiting for you. Follow your rabbits.
Oh, yeah, and I've got some things that I've never, ever released in my presentations because I like to keep my information fresh. You'll find that if you go into any one of my radio shows, there is always something new. I never say the same stuff ever. And I keep saving gems, and I'm going to have fun with this documentary if anyone's listening and wants to help, because they're going to get first picks at the new stuff, and it will conclusively smash fictions for eternity. There will never need to be a fiction ever again in the universe. Man, that's a big, presumptuous claim, but I'm going to do it.
Yeah. No, I already see it, so it's all good. But again, Jerry, we'll get you on as soon as possible and get you talking. And Santo, I've got the board for you tomorrow night then. And lots to talk about, and of course everyone's always welcome. So, the dinner table has never got enough. It's always got enough chairs for everybody. Let's put it that way.
Great, thank you again. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. Much love to you, and beautiful. And thank you for sharing that story. It was wonderful.
See you guys.
Talk to you later.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Take care. Thanks again, everyone. You've been listening to Freedom Reigns Blog Talk Radio. Santos Bonacci and his guest, Jerry. Why can't I say your last name? Anyway, Nowaki. Sorry about that, Jerry. Anyway, don't forget, tune in tomorrow night to Freedom Reigns from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where Santo and myself and who knows who else is going to be here. And we'll catch you then. Much love to all. Have a great evening.
I've used those therapies. If people go to my webpage, you'll see a lot of testimonials there from, I've had a couple of movie stars. I've had, people of some prominence. And we're all human, but people came to me because I give them the straight talk. I tell them, or I advise them, I should say, on some do's and don'ts. And, Santos, we kind of discussed this, and I'll maybe again start here. the do's and don'ts is don't necessarily take all kinds of supplements because most of them don't work anyway, and I can explain why in a couple of minutes. But I use basically, use the nutrition approach that you mentioned it earlier, the poor eating habits. Well, the medicine is the food, and the food is the medicine, And unfortunately, trying to, these are my opinions, by the way, trying to elevate one's consciousness. If you're eating the standard American diet, I don't think it's going to work, because you're going to calcify the main gland for connecting with the higher self is known to be the pineal, and it looks like there's a big effort to try to calcify that pineal because it is the connection to that higher self. So the food, without the food in place, again, in my opinion, you can take all the supplements you want, because here's the bottom line. When you take a nutrient and you start to extract the nutrient from the raw material, you take a raw material, you start to extract the nutrient from it. When you start adding steam, pressure, heat, water, anything like that, you denature the product. No matter how great the process is, you start to denature the product. And, Bruce Lipton, many people are aware of who Dr. Lipton is. He disseminates, again, great information. Well, he has a talk on homeopathy, and in that talk on homeopathy, he discloses that because when you try to create a supplement or a supplement, when you combine that supplement into some kind of a pill form, you create the heat of exchange, and heat is random, and it dissipates energy. So the average person is maybe getting 1% to 2% of any nutrient value out of any supplement. Then you take and you start to add fillers like magnesium stearate, which is basically cottonseed oil. Now, there's a little bit of the jury out on this magnesium stearate, but the body doesn't interpret anything as being benign. So, and the magnesium stearate, because it comes from cottonseed oil, well, nobody makes a claim that their magnesium stearate is not GMO, so I make the assumption that it's all GMO because most of these supplement manufacturers are looking to make money, and so they're looking to keep costs down wherever they can. So the stearate is not only a possible toxin, but it is known to create a biofilm which coats the colon. And most people, unfortunately, that I meet, they have a digestion problem, and if the digestion does not work, I guarantee you nothing else will work, because 80% of the immune system is housed in that digestive tract, in the flora and the microflora that exists in the digestive tract. And many people have been on multiple courses of antibiotics, which, as we know, does kill off all the flora in the intestinal tract, and a lot of this flora is not rebuildable through probiotic supplementation, because there are some really, really fine strains that haven't been able to be reproduced yet. So there's some challenges there.
Wow. Well, so Jerry, someone who took a course of antibiotics, say 6 days or 7 days, 3 or 4 years ago, needs to. You're saying that they need to still look at replenishing what was destroyed even 3 or 4 years down the track, or 10 years down the track. Is that so?
Well, yes, it is, and here's exactly the other reason why, is that based on the other, how their lifestyle habits, we're going to go, when I say that, I'm talking about food, again, if they're eating anything in that standard American diet category, they're further challenging their digestive abilities. And the other part of this whole digestive process is another less talked about. People say, oh, yeah, I understand I need enzymes. But most people don't understand that where there are no enzymes, there is no life. And so enzymes, and it starts with digestion, are the key constituents of life. You know, the Hubble telescope goes out and looks all over space.
You actually get the beautiful om. You get I-om. Now, I haven't really done that well.
You did a wonderful job.
yeah, but it's better. It's better than that. You can get it smooth, but you have to concentrate. You really have to relax, and it just goes from A to U perfectly, and those are the 7 planets, and this is what the Om is all about. When you can grab all of the vowels in one swoop and end them with an M, the maternal, motherly, material, mem mother letter, then you have this rounded out, perfect vibration which will sweep all of the octaves, all of the harmonics, and it will heal you.
Nice.
And so, which brings us to Jerry. What happened?
Yeah, I'm just keeping my eye on the board. He's not there yet. Are you getting any word from him, Cindy, or?
No, I haven't heard. I haven't gotten any messages. Let me double check. No. He said he was going to try Skype and hung the phone up. Let me just send him a message. Let's see.
Yeah,
as far
while
as
you're doing that,
yeah, carry on.
You go, Kate. You go. Okay.
I was going to say, carry on with what you were talking about. That's beautiful. I know there are people just chomping at the bit for this information, and all things for a reason. Obviously, this is your moment to bring it forward. I'm looking at picking a show for tomorrow night on Freedom Reigns, special edition. So I've got a lot of stuff that I want to get out there into the ether. And again, it's about publicly calling these people out. Oh, looks like we got him. He's called back in on the phone, so I guess he gave up. So Jerry's coming back in, and okay, Jerry, are you there?
Yeah, I've been here. I've got the Blog Talk Radio page up, and the Skype button is there. I was online for a while, but I don't know what happened. Huh, that's okay. We're here. We can just use the phone. It's perfect. It's all perfect. Bye.
Great. Let's continue then, Jerry. Now, we've had a few conversations over Skype. I've seen your videos and everything, and so we've got 2 subjects that we're going to be dealing with today, but mostly the health, and then we'll go into what you spoke to me about, please, your paranormal experiences, because we really need to share things like this with people, and because many things are occurring to us which if we're not prepared, we will miss the true value of what's going to be happening. The Egyptians talk about 360 senses that are going to be activated. We have 7 chakras, most of which have been dormant due to bad eating, due to a lot of bad habits, mental habits too, a lot of diseases. Dis-ease comes from the mind. So we've got a lot of work to do in terms of getting those little rotors, those little chakras spinning. And as they turn on, and as our perception grows and consciousness just keeps bombarding us from day to day, we need to be prepared for things that will not belong to the past third-dimensional thinking. So Jerry's going to help us with that. So Jerry, let's talk about the health, brother, because we are very concerned about health here. We talk about it a lot. So any wisdom you can share with us will be greatly appreciated.
Well, and thank you, Santos, and thank you, everybody, for having me on the show. I really appreciate the opportunity to disseminate what I really feel is, and judge for yourself. You know, everybody has to do their own due diligence. I've been around the health field and the health industry for a little over 40 years, certified in health, nutrition, and fitness. Also a certified health coach. I've been training for years, and an avid reader of quality information. The reason the organization that I'm a part of is called Square Wave Wellness. Let me start there. Is because everybody talks about the body being electric and being frequency oriented and so on and so forth. Well, to me it only makes sense that there were some great researchers out there from our past who are revered today, and one of them is Nikola Tesla, and the other one is Royal Rife, the father of the true father. Well, I call him the true father of frequency medicine because he took it down to a level where he was actually healing people in a scientific way. And I use
button to work, is he?
Yeah, so maybe it wasn't... does he need to set up anything through Facebook in order to do that, or... I'm not sure.
Here's what he can do to save himself a bit of bother. When he goes to the link, you gave him the link to click on. What he needs to do is sign into Blog Talk through Facebook, and just follow the bouncing ball. There's a thing that pops up. Just skip it, and what it'll do is it'll log him into Blog Talk through Facebook, and then the Skype button will appear. Because if he's not logged in, it'll be rather difficult for him to see the Skype button.
Okay, well, let's explain that to him when he gets on, and that way the listeners can learn that. Learn the numbers to call in, etc.
Exactly.
As well.
Well, again, with people that are logged into the show, if they want to call in, again, log into Blog Talk via your Facebook, or if you have a Blog Talk account, you can use that as well. I just find Facebook to be the easiest. Click and go, and then the Skype button will be active as soon as you refresh the page, and you're good to go. You can click and
All
call.
right, I have a response from him, so I'm in the process of telling him what to do on the link. So give us a minute.
No worries. I'm sure we can think of something to talk about in the meantime. Just a little. So I've been working on a little letter that I'll be sending out as a result of this beautiful Epiphany day, and I'll probably get it out before midnight. Just I like things to be on people's desks first thing in the morning. It's just I love starting a week off, letting them know exactly what's going on. And by that I mean, people like the Queen and the President and the Pope and the Rothschilds and all the the involved mayors that have been creating criminal acts and what have you. And they might not be aware of it, but you see, I think we have him called in, or somebody else. 928 area code. Cindy, did he call in on the phone, or is he calling in through Skype?
I'm not sure yet. I just sent him, some instructions, and have it.
Okay, I have him on the board. I just saw the number on the phone, so we'll bring him in this way. And if he wants to switch over to Skype, he can do that too. That's not a problem. So Santo, all yours, my friend. Take her away.
Oh, you beauty. All right, well, friends, we've got Jerry Nowacki from squarewavewellness.com. squarewavewellness.com. Hope I've got that right. But anyway, I suppose, Jerry, are you there?
Yes, Santos. Good evening. Yes, good evening, everybody. I'm here. Yes, I am.
Lovely.
Hey!
Hi, Jerry.
Sorry, I don't know. Technical difficulties at the end.
Yes, it's happening all the way around today.
All good.
No problems, brother. No problems. That's the voice of Cindy you've just heard, and Kate is taking the board today, and we're always together as a team. I guess we should call this show the Syncretism team. But Kate...
No, it's your show, Santo. I'm just here. I get to be servant. I love just doing this. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'd rather have the team. Because, I've got, like, the other shows that I do and stuff. This works too good for me. And I know the listeners appreciate it too, because... Let's face it, it's more community oriented, and we can build small nucleus nucleuses of communities like this and just keep strengthening one another as we bring the love in and the light. So as we start, Kate, can you explain perhaps to Jerry for next time and anyone else how to simply get on to Skype?
Yeah, no problem. And actually, Jerry, if you want to do this, I'm not sure about your phone and long-distance charges and whatever, but if you want to do this, it's no problem. This is a very low-stress show that you're on. We kind of just go with it here. What you can do is log into your Facebook.
I just did, by the way. I got you back on Skype here.
Okay, so all right, now if the Skype button appears for you, then you can click on that, and I can bring you onto the board, and you can hang the phone up.
All right, I'm going to hang the phone up right now. Let me try this.
Okay. Oh, it's nice when people actually get it that we're a really low-stress team here, that they can do stuff and play around. You know, it's like, sorry, we're not going to be, there's no Anger Jones here, okay, guys?
No,
Boy.
not at all.
Yeah, we are our own in-house production team, so we do whatever the hell we want. And we have fun doing it. And you're right, Santo, I really do love the opportunities when we get a lot of minds together, because all those perspectives come into view, and it does create that wonderful community aspect. So you're absolutely right. And boy, how do I even say this? I just love talking with you guys. The epiphanies and what have you that come out of every time we get together is one of the reasons that keeps me on fire and motivated. You know, it's nice to know that other people are. Hey, good evening and welcome to Sunday night with Freedom Reigns Blog Talk Radio and Santos Bonacci show, Syncretism. We're just waiting for Santo to get on the board here. Apparently having a bit of an issue getting that Skype button to show up again. One of the always fun things if it doesn't want to show up. But anyway, I've got you on the board. Cindy, how are you doing?
I'm doing just wonderful. Just blowing off the little bit of steam that the Skype button caused me. It gets kind of old, but oh well, I got past it.
It gets old real quick, you know.
Yeah.
Especially those nights where, you know, literally minutes before the show starts and my computer decides it wants to, you know, quit. And, I mean, everything's rolling already once that's all set up and what have you. It's automated, but boy, it's not a lot of fun, and I understand the stress part of it too. So, what do you want to talk about until I get here?
Oh wow! Well, today has just been a very special day. Epiphany Day. I've had quite a few of them. I was up very late last night, early this morning. We had a lovely rain shower come through. Around 2 o'clock this morning, I was outside in my backyard dancing in the rain and just doing like a Shawshank Redemption type arms up in the air and just loving it. Woke up very early this morning, and because of the rain, I decided not to go to the beach, but it's just been a wonderful day, and thank you so much for the time you took with me, giving me my readings. That was just beautiful. And it definitely enlightened me and told me, confirmed quite a bit for me as far as whether or not I'm on the right path, and apparently it seems so.
I guess you are, and for those that don't know, I finally managed to pull my cards out and get busy with them again. I've been reading tarot for 13 or 14 years now, and my cards are my best friends, and I always warn people before I do a reading, so these cards are really, really, really accurate. So, and do not think that you're going to ask the cards anything, because the cards are going to tell you exactly what you need to know, whether you want to know it or not.
Yeah.
So that's one of the prerequisites before I do a read. So, yeah, it's I have the Arthurian tarot, which really resonated with me. as I was saying to you today, you had a deck sent to you, yes?
Yes, they came from the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
A very dear friend of mine sent them along with a box of gifts from her home, and another items that were in this box was really special to me. She visited Stonehenge not long ago, and she found 2 very lovely stones and charged them in the ground across the fence in the ground at Stonehenge. So that it was just absolutely. When I pulled them out of the beautiful little satin satchel that she had them in, just the energy that flowed out of those stones was amazing. So,
well, no doubt.
Under my pillow every night since. So.
Well, we have Santo here. One final note on the tarot. There's 2 ways you will actually come across a deck. One that will resonate with you, and one that the universe sends to you. So you got the one that was sent to you. And Santo, yes, we have you. Are you there, Santo?
Sorry, muted mic. Yeah, look, I'm still having trouble getting Jerry, so bear with me. I've put a number in your chat. Do we call him, or does he need to call you?
No, he has to call in here, so I was just posting the number for you. So
I was just speaking to him on Facebook. Let me see if I can get through.
All right, if you can pop a number in there, I'll get it to him straight away. He's ready, standing by. So should be interesting. We've got a couple of subjects with Jerry. Health is the one, of course, and nutrition. Got a lot of interesting insights there. And also some paranormal information that he's got should be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. He's
yes, I was listening to a few of his YouTube videos before the show. I'm popping the number into his chat.
It's 71. For anyone listening as well, I might as well give it out to everyone. It's 714-868-0749. So I posted that to you as well, Santo. So he has no excuse. He can call in. So he's having trouble getting the Skype. Getting it. And not only that, they add this beautiful information to my own recipes, and I go from there because we're all part of our own experiences.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, it is good. It is good. It's a blessing to be able to have like-minded communities getting together like this on Skype, on the airways. We could never have done this 20 years ago, and how handy that would have been, because we probably wouldn't have gone deep down the wrong paradigm so deep. We could have brought this on a lot earlier, but all things in due time. Here we are now, and let's take advantage of it, and get the word out. Help people to see the way the world works from a higher platform, because the higher your platform is, the higher your perspective, and the more you're able to see the whole thing, how it works, the whole organism. Otherwise, it's no use. It's no use. Unfortunately, people who get zealous about trying to share the truth usually start out with a lot of disinformation. A lot of disinformation.
Absolutely. And you're so right. 20 years ago, if the net was the way it is, 9/11 wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
None of that would have happened. But again, all things for a reason, all things in due time. It is a mental universe, and everything is already pre-sent. So we just got to learn how to play that game. And when you start getting your head around it and understanding it, it gets to be fun. Oh, and by the way, if you want, after the show, and I know Deatra has asked me as well, I finally got my cards all charged up again, and I gave Cindy a tarot reading this afternoon, and if you want, after the show, I can do one for you as well.
Yeah, for sure. Would love one. But on that note, for anyone who is interested in the tarot, probably the best guy to get into at this stage would be Paul Foster Case. I have 2 books in my hands right now. One is called The Book of Tokens, and the other one's called The Key to the Wisdom ages, and see how those 22 letters line up, those 22 cards, the major arcana, and see how they line up, and all the wisdom that is in each of those cards. Now, the ancient occultists teach us that 12 of those cards correspond to the 12 zodiac signs, and 10 correspond to the vowels and diphthongs of the universal language. There are 12 consonants and there are 10 vowels. And these are the electric and magnetic constructors of the universe. In fact, the vowels, the 7, the dominant 7. See, there are in the Hebrew language, there are 3 mother letters: Mem, Shin, and Aleph. Then there are 7 double letters, and those are the planets, the 7 visible planets. And then there are 12 single letters; those are the constellations. So, and the consonants, and the consonants. So, I hope I said that right. Is it consonant or consonant? It's a consonant.
Consonant.
Yeah, consonant. You got it right the second time.
Yeah, I'm getting constellations.
All that epiphany stuff, it rattles all our heads.
Yeah, I'm throwing constellations in the word consonant. But anyway, so you've got the 3, the 7, and the 10. The 3 mother letters, that's the Trinity. And one is the father, Aleph. Mem is the mother, that means water, Mem. And Shin is the Son, the Holy Spirit. And then you have your 7 double letters, and they have double pronunciation, pretty much like what Spanish would have with a B and a V, verbe, or a de, ve, which de, ve, which is a double th sound, like the. You see, in English we say the, but that would be a D in Spanish. But they also, yeah. So, but you also have the firm D. So double letters exist, and single letters which cannot. They can just, there's only one way of saying them. Like S. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to ask about the letter, well, it's the combination letter of the A and the E, as in ether.
Yeah. Well, that's actually the second vowel of the 7 vowels. I did this before with Miranda, remember, where we did the 7 vowels are these: A, E, I, O, U. So in English we get taught A, E, I, O, U. Well, the E and the O have 2 sounds. The E has the A and the E, and the O has the O and the O. And when you join them all together, you